That's magnificent. Drifted away from Car. Henri! And it's Arsenal FC! And my father it's time to go!
Good morning, UK. Good evening, America. Hope you're all well, and Canada. Hope you're all well. Thank you very much for joining Claude and the Banstas, especially in England and the UK this morning. It's currently 4 a.m. here. We're waiting for the main event to start, and that is Poirier versus McGregor. I will be having Glenn from New York. He'll be joining us, and Stan from Vancouver in Canada. They will be joining me shortly, and we will be going doing a watch-along and going through the UFC for this very exciting. I'm absolutely excited for this fight. McGregor has definitely got to come back. It's 1-1 in the trilogy series. McGregor in his first fight absolutely smashed Poirier in the first round, and then obviously Poirier knocked out Conor McGregor in the second. So this is going to be good. But just before that, we have got the two women in the bantamweight just about to start. This is their tower of tape. They're just kicking off now, and it's live. So you got Aldana in the black, and is it Knits Skarja? Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. She's in the white. So we'll keep an eye on that fight as it's going. It's still on the undercard, but I hope everyone's well. Thank you, everyone, for coming over in the chat. Delwyn Jones, hope you're good. Gooner Adam, hope you're well, mate. Kin Sports, hope you're good. Chelsea for life, thanks for coming over, mate. London boy, Ben, Alan, London boy again. Yeah, thank you very much. Like I said, can't wait for this fight. Let us know what you think in your thoughts in the chat. Let's take that down for a minute so you can see what we're doing. Yeah, so just oh, that's a good punch, good kick, another good right hand there from Kunitsky. That was a good right hand. I hope everyone's well. Obviously, fantastic weekend we've got coming up. Obviously, we've got this, the Poirier versus McGregor live. So stay with us for this. We will be doing during the day, we'll be doing transfer updates. Obviously, there's a lot of news and a great signing for Arsenal that we'll be doing during the day. And then Diesel, my brother from another mother, the best looking person that shouldn't be on radio. He's got a voice that should be on radio, but live on screen. He'll be doing the the Euros final tomorrow night, Italy versus England. 7:45, he will be live. So please tune in for him. I will be down the pub watching it with my family and friends. And hopefully, if I can get reception down there, I'll be able to go live from there and we'll be able to see that too. We're all waiting for this spine-tingling fight. For me personally, I'm a massive McGregor fan. I'm looking forward to watching this fight. When you look at, for me personally, McGregor, when he fights for the first time, fights an opponent for the first time, his head is in the right space. He sorts out his camp. He sorts himself out. He gets himself in the right frame of mind for the first fights, and he gets the job done. In the second fights he has with these people, just in my opinion, he lets that lax a little bit. I think he thinks that, you know, because he beat them quite easily in the first fight, he doesn't get his head in the game and he changes things up. And that is why in most of his losses in the second fights that he's had with people, for me, that is the reason why that Conor McGregor loses that fight, because he's not in the right headspace. Oh my God, she looks like she's got her nose broke. Knits Scania has got her nose broke at the moment. There's blood pouring out of it. Oh, so some punches here from Aldana. Oh, and she's knocked her down on the floor. This fight is going to be over by the looks of it. Aldana has got her on the floor with a great left hook straight into her face. She's got Kaninsky now on the floor. and she's throwing punches on that broken nose that's bleeding quite badly at the minute. We're 1 minute, 1:30 left in the first round still. Let's just watch this. Oh, that's another good right hand and an elbow. An elbow to the face again. She's trying to protect herself. But this is phenomenal at the moment from Aldana. She's trying to keep her from kicking from down on the bottom. That was a good kick, though, to the face there. Is she going to last this first round out? Got another minute left. She needs to... What is she doing? Get on top of her and finish this fight. Let's just stay with this for a minute. We've still got 45 seconds left. Oh. She's on top of her now. She's on top. Can she capitalise? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 punches to the face there, but she's still trying to defend herself. Her nose is... Oh, that's another good punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to stop this, the ref. The ref stopped it. First round win for Aldana. Great fight there. First round win. And the other one's nose is all over the place here at the moment. Blood. The other one doesn't even look like she had a fight. Well done. Good fight. Good fight there. Yeah, like I was saying. So, yeah, for me, he doesn't get his head in the right space. This time round, he's gone back to basics, McGregor. He's got his camp sorted. He's not had his family out there this time in Vegas. A great left hook. He's got his mind right on it again. He's got his mind back in the game, and I think this is when McGregor is at his dangerous. He's going to be a very, very dangerous fight. They're both swinners. They both can punch. But for me, McGregor is very unorthodox. He can... I love his punches combinations. He can throw from the uppercut from any positions and then come over the top with the left hook. I mean, we see that in the Aldo fight, which he's got the fastest knockout in UFC history. He was the first person to hold 2 belts in 2 different divisions, Conor McGregor. For me personally, McGregor, me and the missus, we was, on the train with UFC from the very start. UFC, the first ever Ultimate Fighter back in 2005, when you had the coaches, Chuck Liddell and Randy Couture. They was the coaches, and you had great fighters back then, Josh Koscheck, Diogo Sanchez, Forrest Griffin, Kenny Florian, Nate Quarry, Chris Lieben, Stephen Bonner. Yeah, you had loads of fighters back then. 2005, I've been watching that program since, The Ultimate Fighter. It just shows you how long ago that was. And I haven't missed a lot of them, only a couple of Ultimate Fighters. But for anyone that don't know, it's come back now after a couple of years out. They brought the Ultimate Fighter series back, and you got the 2 new coaches, which is Volkanovski and Team Ortega. And they've got 6 episodes out already. It's been absolutely brilliant. It's great to be back. I'm absolutely gutted that I was out in Las Vegas last February for the Fury fight. I was out there for that, and I didn't realise that the UFC's headquarters the new headquarters was being built just around the corner. It's literally it's about 10 minutes around the corner from the actual main strip of Las Vegas. So I'm absolutely gutted that I didn't go and see it, but it's back on the Ultimate Fighter. So everyone, it's on BT Sport for people in the UK. And listen, go and give it a watch. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm so back into it, and there's been some great fights already. Let's just see who we got. We've got Lily, she's in the chat. How you doing, Lily? What are you doing up at 4 o'clock in the morning? Thanks for coming along and helping out. She's saying, big up, Terry, for getting up and doing the stream at this time. I'm in bed, so can't have the sound on to listen, but wanted to drop in and say hello. Thank you very much, Lily. We've got Joanne Smith in the chat saying, hello, Terry. Hello, Joanne. Hope you're well. Footy chat saying, big up. Hope you're well. Lily saying, don't forget to hit the like button, guys, and show Terry some appreciation for rolling out at this bedtime. Thank you very much, man. Really appreciate that. Got Tony Kelly in the chat. When is it? I thought it started at 3 a.m. That was the undercard started at 3 a.m. Tony. The main event, Chuck Liddell's just on the screen at the moment. I've actually seen Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz on their trilogy fight that they had. It weren't in the UFC, but it was in when I was in Los Angeles. They was fighting on a different thing, and lucky enough, me and the missus got to see it. We was there live, and Tito Ortiz got his revenge after 2 losses to Chuck Liddell, and Tito Ortiz absolutely smashed him. But great again I was lucky enough to see that live and all. So who else we got? Chelsea for life saying McGregor will win easily, Terry. I think he will. I think, like I said to you, mate, he's got his head back in the game for this third one. He doesn't want to. He's already on a 2-loss losing streak at the moment. Obviously, he lost to Khabib, and then he lost to Poirier in the last fight. So really, going 3 losses on a row, you're sort of looking, to be honest, on your way out of the UFC. But McGregor is such a pull to the UFC. He has elevated Dana White and the UFC to another level in my eyes. I mean, it was already fantastic, to be honest, the UFC. But when McGregor come along, honestly, the Irish fans, the fans themselves, Conor McGregor, he was one of the best. You know, you always look and watch the trash talk all beforehand, and it's always a load of rubbish, let's be honest. But with Conor McGregor, when he first come about, you know what I mean, he backed up all his words, and that's what I loved about it. Do you know what I mean? He just backed up his word. He put people out every time that people thought that they was going to come along, these fighters thought they was going to come along and take him down. They couldn't. And he's been in, let's be honest, most of his fights have all been fantastic. There's not been one boring fight, for me anyway, McGregor. I know he's a bit like Marmite in the UFC. You either really love him, or you hate him. So it's one of them ones with McGregor. But I just think he's absolutely phenomenal. I think what he's done for the UFC and Dana White is he's elevated it to another level. He's got he's one of the highest ranked fighters out there that makes the most money. He pulls in the most money. The pay-per-views, he pulls in the most all the time. It's because, and let's be honest, all the stars out there, all the sports stars, movie stars, and just normal fans want to see Conor McGregor fight. So for me personally, I think he's a wounded animal for this fight. And I do believe, and I do think that McGregor will win this fight. Let's move on quickly. Let's have a look at the next fight that's coming up in a minute. Let me just go back on this. Yes, we've got the result for that. Let's go back again. Why is that going back? Oh, sorry. There we go. Right. So the main card is starting now. We've got 2 fights before the main event, and it's an heavyweight bout first. We've got Tavares against Ardy. Let's get the tail of the tape and let's see what these guys are. So Tavares is 12 wins with 3 losses. He's fighting out of Australia. He's 6'2". He's 264 pounds, 75 inch in reach, and 39.5 inches in leg reach. And Ardy is 7 wins, 3 losses, 1 no contest. He's fighting out United States. He's a little bit taller than Tavares. He's 3 inches taller. He's a pound heavier in weight. He's got a 5-inch reach advantage, and he's got a 5-inch basically leg reach advantage. So this looks like going to be a good fight. Win by knockouts. There you can see they're both banners. Tavares has got a 92% knockout rate, whereas Ardy's got an 86% knockout rate. So this is one of these is getting knocked out. So this has got all the makings to be a fantastic fight. So this is going to be good. What else we got in the chat here? Tony's saying Conor has to win this for me. His views go downhill after this if he loses twice. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, Tony. Is it a case now? You know, sometimes in sport we all know what happens. You know what I mean? You get unfortunately you get a bit older and the youngsters start coming in and taking over. And this is for me, like you said, a massive fight for McGregor. He needs to pull this one out the bag. And I can't wait to watch it. Jake is saying that the betting sites have it as a 5:45 start for the main event. Well, the main event is starting now, Jake. Like I said, we've got 2 fights beforehand. It all depends how quick these fights go or how long they go. If they all go last the fin, then you're probably looking about between, I'd say, 5.5, 5 for the start. But these two at the moment that's just about to come out, they look like proper banners, which could mean that the fight is over quite quickly. So let's wait and see on that one, mate. Jake, I haven't got any bets on tonight, mate. I forgot, to be honest. I forgot to do that. But if I was going to have a bet, I'd put all my money on McGregor, mate. Stuart saying McGregor is knocking this yank out. Tony saying, who is your favourite fighter? McGregor, mate. McGregor is my favourite fighter. I've watched him since the start. I'll see him a couple of times before he was in UFC. I just think he's absolutely phenomenal. But if you go, I mean, like I said to you earlier on, I go way back to the start of the Ultimate Fighter when you had Stephan Bonner and Forrest Griffin going at each other. I mean, them two fighters was really that put the UFC on the map for me, because them two fighters, when they fought, I think they had a few fights together. They put everything into them fights. Everything. They never left it to the judges to give it either way. They literally put everything into them fights, and they used to always go the distance with them and all. Absolutely phenomenal. But for me at the moment, Tony, Conor McGregor is my favourite fighter. What about you, mate? Chelsea for Life is saying you should be on TV, Chel. Good panic. Thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate it. That's very, really kind words. And much love to you, mate. Nippon's in the chat. I ain't seen you for a while, Nippon. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're doing good. Jake saying McGregor is 1-1 to win. Could be easily double your money. The other guy is a favourite, but by the looks of it, he is the favourite. Obviously, he won his last fight against him. But like I said, Jake, for me personally, I think this is a wounded man. He's gone back to bases. He's left his family at home this time. He's just concentrating on basically getting that win to get himself back on that map again. I can't see nothing but a win for me personally, but let's wait and see. Stuart has put, I've put €400 on McGregor to knock out the yank. Wow, unbelievable. Let's bring in our man from Vancouver, Canada. He hasn't been on for a while, since the last time that we done a UFC fight, and that was unfortunately when the big man was here still. I'm sure that he joined us that time and all, and really enjoyed it. But Stan, the man, is back, and here he is. How you doing, Stan? Hope you're well, mate.
Hello, mate. Good to be back. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, thanks, mate. Really excited for this fight. We've got 2 fights just before, but I'm really excited for this fight, mate. And then obviously we've got the football coming up later on tonight. England versus Italy is going to be absolutely massive, Stan. But how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing really well, thanks, mate. Lovely weather over here in Vancouver. It's about 7:30 in the evening, something like that.
7:30. Well, it's 4:14 in the morning here in England. Hello to everyone in Vancouver and Canada. And also, we've got another great guest with us tonight who does the UFC watch-alongs and just joined us at the same time as Stan and all. And that's our man from New York. How you doing, Glenn? Hope you're well.
Yeah, I'm well. I just couldn't get my effing TV to effing work. How are you? I got it. It's all hooked up now. No sound, but can you hear me all right? I didn't even do a mic check.
Yeah, fine, mate, fine.
And these lights here was a setup I had for when Arsenal went back to the Champions League, so I figured I'm not going to waste them. It's a big fight night, and I'm very excited.
Just quickly, you can see it on the screen. They're just out in the octagon at the moment. We've got Tavares versus Greg Hardy. This is the Tower of Tape. Tavares has 12 wins and 3 losses. Greg Hardy is 7 wins and 3 losses. Tavares is fighting out of Australia. Hardy out of United States. Tavares is 6'2". and Hardy is 6'5", basically more or less weigh the same at 265. Hardy has got a 5-inch reach difference and leg reach difference. Who are you two guys going for? Stan, let's start with you first.
Well, the photograph of Mr. Tui Vasa is not really doing him any favours, is it? He looks like some bloke from down the pub compared to Greg Hardy over there. So Greg Hardy looks like he's been putting the time in the gym to me. So I'm going to go for Greg. How you doing, Glenn? Anyway, just want to say hi. How are you, mate?
I'm fine, Stan. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, man. Good. Looking forward to the football tomorrow.
Yes, me too. I'm very excited. I can't appreciate for you residents of the UK how excited and happy and proud you must be. But I am a fan. I always root for England, and I'm jacked for tomorrow, man. I can't wait. I know, Terry, for you, it's later tonight, but I haven't slept yet, so tough.
That's right. Who do you think is going to win this fight quickly?
Jeez, I'm gonna have to go with Stan on this one. He looks like he's ready. This guy looks like he just, no.
I'm agreeing with you guys. I think Greg Hardy's got this one, but they both got basically over. I think Hardy's got 86% and Tavares has got a 93% knockout rate. So this is going to be a banner, boys.
Wow.
This is going to be a banner. They just started.
He's got a little bit of a muffin top. He's not going to beat him.
You never know in UFC.
I know.
Right punch. What's a right punch there from Hardy? Tavares has took it. He has got a bit of a belly on him, I must admit. But yeah, just getting back to it. Absolutely ecstatic that we're in the final, Glenn and Stan. Couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? I didn't think we would do it, to be honest. I'm not a big Southgate lover, but I've got to hold my hands up. His tactics have been brilliant, to be honest. And he's got us to the final. First ever final for 50. What is it, 50? Oh, what? 3 good punches there. Well, yes. Oh, Hardy's got it. Hardy's been knocked out.
How are you ahead of me when this is in Las Vegas? How are you ahead of me?
Exactly. They're still walking around in my one.
Yeah. There's the punches you were talking about.
Hardy had him on.
Oh my God! Muffin Top has him.
Yeah.
That wasn't even started yet.
Is it over?
Oh my God! Tavares was on the ropes. There was a 4-punch combination there from Hardy. He was on the ropes, and then he just got him with a right hand and knocked out Hardy.
All right, Stan, explain to me how Terry is ahead of me when this is going way further to him than me. I mean, I'm used to doing watch-alongs with Arsenal where he's like, oh, my God, and I have to wait 40 seconds to see what he's saying.
Mine was not even started yet.
Wow.
They're just about to start now.
You watch this. Look.
I half believe that.
No, it's the truth.
It's the truth.
Oh, look at that. There was a right punch there from Hardy.
Swinging them in together. Here we go. They touch gloves.
Oh, look at that. Bam. Right on the nose. Right on the nose with the left hook. Fantastic left hook.
I'm looking at the replay now.
Wow.
You said it, man. Terry, you said it. You said, can't judge by the muffin top, man. You can't judge.
This is the beauty of UFC. And not only that, like I said, if you look at their knockout rates, 86% and 94%, wow.
Yeah, he got him right on the temple. That'll put you down every time.
Unbelievable.
Oh, that hurt. My head hurts just looking at that one.
And this is what I was saying. Jake, who's in the chat, he said earlier on, the betting odds have got this fight down at 5.45, but you can't do that because in the UFC, you know what I mean, these fights can be over as soon as they're started. So we've only got one more fight now until the main event. And if it goes as quick as that, the main event will be on within the next sort of half hour. But I doubt it. I think the other one will go a little bit longer than that. That was unbelievable.
I'm trying. I'm still trying to figure out if Stan's joking around that he's like 3 minutes behind you.
There we go. He's got him up against. Oh, he's fell over. He's got on top of him. There we go. He's clubbing him. Yeah. Wow, was that it? Wow.
Wow.
I have to try and find another screen or something.
Yeah, try, mate. Try. Yeah, no, listen, just quickly, obviously, Tavares there. We didn't back him, guys, but he's gone out and done it within, a minute of that fight. And he's won that. Well, yeah, a minute and 7 seconds he's won that in with a knockout. Fantastic. 13-3 now he is. And he's on
I need to see the inside of his lip. Why is he doing
Oh,
that?
my God. He's got
I'm so old.
He's got 13 wins, and 12 of them wins have been in the first round. What a great record. Well done to Tavares.
Well, at least, Terry, you said you can't judge by looks, even though we all agreed there.
You can't. That's one thing you can't do in UFC. They're just showing a replay again. Bam, right on the nose. He's gone down.
You got him in the temple, too.
2, yeah, 3 punches on the floor while he was on the floor, and the referee stopped it. Wow. What a good fight. What a great fight there, boys.
I keep thinking about the England game tomorrow, England-Italy, and I keep going between 2-1 England or 1-1 penalties. I still haven't decided yet. Did you guys make any predictions?
What do you think, Stan?
I don't think I could handle a penalty shoot out for England. A couple of those already in my lifetime that I could do without. But I mean, like you said earlier, Terry, I mean, international managerial-wise, it's probably the biggest achievement since Alf Ramsey, right? So you've got to give him props. I mean, he's gone further than Bobby Robson did. And like you say, I mean, I've always thought that Gareth Southgate, when he was a player, he was a bit introverted, wasn't he? And I've always thought he was a little bit like that. But fair play to him. You've got to take your hat off to him. He's got us to the final. So one more hurdle, just one more hurdle to go, and anything can happen in 90 minutes. So
yeah, you're totally right.
Are you a politician over there in Vancouver, Stan? Because I didn't hear an answer out of you. I just heard an explanation of what you didn't want to see. I need a prediction, my friend.
Well, we've got to the final. I think England are going to win it. We've gone this far. So I'd like to say maybe 2-1. I don't want it to go to penalties. I can't.
Me neither.
I can't handle a penalty shootout. Again, I've seen a couple of those. So I want it done in regular time, please.
Yeah, that's 2-1 England. That'll be my prediction. I'm off the fence.
I don't even mind the game where it's one of those ones where they go ahead, and then we equalise, and then they go ahead, and then we score 2. I mean, a proper emotional roller coaster, but we come out of it winning. I wouldn't mind a little bit of that,
Terry, before you give us your prediction, I just wanted to say, Stan, I think that going down 1-0 that last game was good for England because they had to face a little adversity. So I think they're ready for Italy tomorrow. I really do.
Good.
Okay. What's your name, Terry? Yeah, I'm a little lit. Fuck you.
Listen, I think it's going to be a really hard game. Like I said, I'm going to be positive. I think, you know what I don't want, and it's nothing against the Italians because they're brilliant and things like that. But for me, if they go 1-0 ahead, I think that's when their experience will come into play of being in finals. And then what they would do is bring the game down to their level where they start time wasting and be on the floor and rolling about and things like that. Do you know what I mean? I just don't want that to happen. I want England to go out there and dictate the game ourselves. I don't want Italy to be able to dictate the game. That's what I don't want to happen. If Southgate comes out and goes positive and we start off like we have done and try and get an early goal, then I think we will win 2-1. But
I'll be very disappointed if he does that. Like if he comes out with 2 defensive midfielders. How do you guys feel about that? That would instantly put me in a bad mood before the game.
Here's the thing. I mean, a lot of people have talked about. We seem to have a lot of good players on the bench. Grealish hasn't really had. He hasn't really sort of like had a 90 minutes in there. Jadon Sancho's had a fleeting appearance. However, his tactics seem to be working. So I'm actually of the thing that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Whatever he's done to get us to the final, it's all on him now, isn't it? Really, it's really all on his team selection.
I want to have deja vu of this feeling. I agree. Southgate gets credit. Credit where it's due. I want to have deja vu feeling about Arteta the same way I feel about Southgate right now. Like, you know what? All right, he's getting this shit right. So I would love to have this feeling again when Arsenal starts their season.
I mean, looking at the players that he has at his disposal, I mean, it wouldn't be how I would have done it. But what the fuck do I know? It's obviously working. It's obviously working. He's got us to the final, so fair play.
Yeah, well, Terry, you were giving him due respect before that last game, and props to you. I remember you sticking up for him, and I was yelling at you like, "Yeah, finally you got it right." So you were right. I was wrong.
Listen, like I said, when I'm on, I will gladly stand up and hold my hands up. Listen, if you're asking me personally, I'm still not a big lover of Southgate and his tactics. But if that's the way we've got to go and that's the way we're going to win it, then I'm all for it. Do you know what I mean? I would rather do it in a different way. Even in the last game, the last sort of 10 minutes, I think we could have got another 1 or 2 goals in them dying seconds. But, what he done instead is that we'd go on the attack and then from the middle of the goal, go right over to the corner flag and then go right back to the keeper and that. When we could have had 2 or 3 clear-cut chances at scoring a goal. Me personally, do you know what I mean? I've always been taught since I've been young.
That's not me.
Since I've been young, I've always been taught, you know what I mean? If you score a goal, it's still 0-0. Carry on, go for it. You know what I mean? You play to win. And for me, I know that some people like Kenny Ken will turn around and say, well, this is tournament football. It's totally different to normal football and things like that. I'm not like that. I just want to win, and I want to win convincingly. That's me personally. Yeah. But like I said, I'll hold my hands up. Gareth Southgate has got it right. And hopefully he gets it right tonight. We're all excited over here. England, you know what I mean? If we win, it's going to be ecstatic. And if we lose, unfortunately, a lot of people will be gaining a lot of chairs in gardens with people throwing garden chairs over the fences and going mental. You know what I mean? Losing things like that. So.
Hey, I was watching on YouTube. Someone was streaming the celebrations after the last game, and I was like, "Oh my god, I would so be there." And then after 10 minutes, I realized, "Oh my god, I would be the oldest person there." But I'm very excited watching this. I try to soak everything in. I love this as much as the World Cup. A guy just made a point. The guy before Chadwick, saying. Tony made the point before saying Italy deserve it by far. I don't believe that. I believe the rest of what he said about Southgate holding back the younger players, but I say no way that Italy deserve it by far. England gave the world football, okay, and it's been way too long. You deserve it. You've earned it. You went through so much adversity. I am really looking forward. I love Italy's story, but there has to be winner, has to be a loser. And for me, it has to be England tomorrow. It has to be.
Yeah.
Stan? I think that's the better story than Italy, going back to Tony's last comment. The better story is England winning it.
I mean, anything can happen. I can remember that. Do you remember that Euros and Greece won it that year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think Denmark as well, didn't they win it in '95?
Yeah, they won it.
Anything can happen, and it's 90 minutes. It's 90 minutes. So it's it now. I can't wait. I'm actually quite excited about it, to be honest. It'd be lunchtime here, so it'd be a good time to watch,
No work on Sunday. No work on Sunday, Stan. Just relaxing.
Yeah. That's right.
I will be at work. I'm gutted. I can't drink tomorrow night.
Wait, why can't you drink?
Because I've got to work Sunday night. Well, early hours Monday morning.
I'm sorry. That's what I mean. That literally hurts my stomach.
But I was hoping that Boris Johnson would have come out and give us a bank holiday for this. You know what I mean? First time in over 50 years that we'd be in a final with the COVID-19. You know what I mean? Over the last 18 months, what we've gone on in this world. And then before that, we had the Brexit. Do you know what I mean? What a way for me personally to unite the country by really him turning around. He should have said, let's have a bank holiday. Let's get behind the team, get behind the players. Everyone go and enjoy yourselves. You know what I mean? If you're having barbecues or going down the pub, that's all revenue for the pubs and all that that's been shut for 18 months. You know what I mean? So that for me personally, that would have been, a fantastic touch by a prime minister of the country to unite them. Do you know what I mean? But he didn't do it. He's talking about there might be a bank holiday a week down the line to celebrate it, but what's the point of that? Do you know what I mean?
You know something? I follow your politics. I love your country. You guys know how much I love your country. It's my dream to go there, and I'm gonna be there soon. I hope. I follow your politics, and that dude seems to always make the wrong decision. Tomorrow's final, he was going to let the VIPs not have any masks, and everybody else had to wear one. But the dude is incompetent, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
And believe me, I'm not throwing stones in a glass house. I know our politics here are fucked. I'm just saying they're fucked there too. That's all I'm saying.
Super chat here. Chadwick, my friend. Hope you're well, mate. I ain't seen you for a while. Hope you're doing well, mate. He said, Terry, I can tell you England players are better than Italy. Let's unleash the attack and put the pressure on Italy. The only way is that England will win. Chadwick, I totally 100% agree with you.
So let me ask you, sorry, I didn't mean to scream in. I was just going to ask you that because Gareth Southgate doesn't seem to stick to one particular formula. So I was wondering what you guys thought, and guys in the chat box as well, whether he's going to go with a back four or a back three, because he does seem to go in between the two quite comfortably. So what do you guys reckon?
I think he's going to do a back four.
I
don't think they're going to come out on the front foot, but that's just me thinking negative about a guy that got England to the final. So I apologize. Every move he's made, as Stan said, has gotten them. You just survive and advance. So yeah. I feel bad saying that I think he's going to come out conservatively, but just from watching England all these years under him,
I think he'd go for a back four. I think he's going to be, personally, he's one of these managers that will be more worried about what they're going to do than what we can do. That's the way I think it. So he will go the same as Italy. Because Italy obviously have got a fantastic defense. They defend for their lives, their team. They throw everything into it. Let's be honest. Even the kitchen sink, Italy. Even to a certain extent, the diving on the floor when it comes to it, if they're winning. This is absolutely fantastic. They've got the lights off here at the stadium. Everyone's flashing their phones at the minute. It's just great to see fans back in stadiums and that. This is the fight just before. And
when I think of Italy in the World Cup, the first thing that I think of is Baggio's penalty miss.
Yeah, Baggio.
Against Brazil. That was the USA World Cup, right?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Stan, can you answer your own question? How do you think he's going to come out tomorrow? Southgate.
Yeah. I'd like to think that he'll come out with a back four. I'm a fan of that personally, and I really hope that, whatever the starting lineup is, it incorporates Saka.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm really pleased how Saka's a little bit how he kind of forced his way into the Arsenal team. He got a chance and he done it. That's what I mean. Some of our players, and I'm not picking on any in particular, but for example, when Eddie Nketiah has had a lot of minutes, he's had like a lot of minutes. A lot of minutes. Yeah. I've seen a lot of that guy in an Arsenal shirt, and I've only seen a little bit of Balogun. But what I've seen of Balogun, I want to see more of that. Whereas someone like Saka, another young kid, when he got his chance, he made the most of it. As did
spot on.
as is
spot on. Spot on. That's what it's all about for the young players. Is when you have your chance to shine, you do it. And Saka's done that. He did it with Arsenal. He did it with England. He's such a beautiful thing to watch. It's extra bonus during this to see more maturation from him.
Wow.
What have you got in your screens at the moment? I've got some guy taking water.
We've got Stephen Thompson just coming into the ring now in his kick martial arts boxing.
Oh, this is Wonder Boy. Worst nickname ever. His nickname's Wonder Boy. I think that's the worst nickname ever.
Well,
he's in kickboxing and not in UFC. He's 57-0, 57 wins with no losses.
Well, obviously, I wouldn't say that to him in face to face.
Stephen Thompson.
That's how I want to say quickly, boys. We've got Gilbert Burns, who's 119 and lost 4. He's fighting from Brazil. He's 5'10", 155 pounds, 71 inches in reach and 40 inches in leg reach. Stephen Thompson is 16 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw. He's fighting out of the United States, 6 foot, 170 pound, 75 inch reach and a 42 inch leg reach. Guys, which one are you going for in this one?
If your name's Wonder Boy, you back that up. What'd you say? He's 47-0. I'll go with Wonder Boy.
That was in kickboxing, not in the UFC. But yeah.
Well, I'm still going with him. He looks in shape, and he's called Wonder Boy. It's just that's like the bare naked ladies of fighting. I hate that name for a band. But hey, Stan, so you don't even have the walk-in happening yet?
Yeah, he's in the ring now. I changed streams. Now it's Wonder Boy's in the ring. Now
okay.
Yeah.
Who are you going for, Stan?
Well, until I've got my screen at the moment, the other guy's just walking in now in his tracksuit.
You're about 10 seconds behind me, not even that.
Sorry?
You're about 10 seconds behind me, not even that now.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, if you've got Wonder Boy in your name, I mean, you've got to bring it, right? You've got to bring it. You know, I've always thought if I was a boxer, I wouldn't come in with a big fanfare, you know, living in America, big outfits. Because if you do all of that, do you know what I mean? And you get knocked down in the first round, it's, you know, it's like your entrance is longer than the Undertaker's. The entrance is longer than the Undertaker's, but the match lasts like for 30 seconds.
I'm sorry, Stan. You put Rocky 3 in my head with Living in America and James Brown, and I just pictured him strutting all over the stage. Or was that the fourth one? I don't remember.
Right, so
Tyson Fury did the same thing, didn't he? He came in the same thing, wasn't it? Apollo Creed style. But if you come in like that, you've got to win. You've got to win.
Yeah, that's true.
You two are going for Stephen Thompson, then the Wonder Boy. I'm going to go for Gilbert Burns. I'm going to go for the other one, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's a black belt in it. I'm going to go for him.
Just going by appearance, Gilbert does look a bit of a. He does look a bit formidable. However, he's not called Wonder Boy.
Can I ask a question for someone that doesn't watch that much UFC? Is this guy, the Gilbert Burns guy, does he have to get Wonder Boy to the ground to beat him?
Wonder Boy.
Does he have to get Wonder Boy? See why it's a bad name? When Stan said Wonder Boy, I laughed. When I said Wonder Boy, you laughed. Serious question though, is this guy one of those martial arts that has to get you to the ground to beat you? With the jiu-jitsu? I don't know. Why did I do that? I'm sorry. I don't know.
With jiu-jitsu, it all depends, mate. What it means is that if it goes to the ground, then he's a black belt in it. So he's more probably suited to the ground than what Wonder Boy is.
All right. So Wonder Boy is going to be...
Whereas Wonder Boy, obviously being a kickboxer, is probably better at leg kicking.
Wow, very fascinating.
Okay, so the other guy just came in the ring and rolled over. Did you get that?
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
I think you guys are slightly ahead of me. All right.
Chadwick Moffat with another super chat. Thank you very much, mate. He said Mark Overmars, most underrated Arsenal player ever. Do you agree, boys?
Love Mark Overmars. Loved him. Rapid, absolutely rapid. And I think we sold him because we thought there was a problem with his knee, right? But he went on and played for quite a lot longer. I can remember when I was living in Spain, we used to go to Malaga now and then because that was like the nearest one. And I see Malaga, Barcelona. Mark Overmars was playing for him. It was rapid.
Yeah. Listen, I think the best ever goal that he scored was the one at Old Trafford against United when we needed to beat them 1-0.
Yeah. And he had maybe 2 or 3 chances before that as well. It came really close. Yeah. It was on the cards, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was. But he was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal at that stage of Arsenal, at that time for Arsenal, that stage. You know what I mean, where we was just getting back into the fold of winning stuff again, Stan and Glenn.
I read an article. It's a bit weird. He said that when he was growing up in Holland as a kid, he'd go to his granddad's farm and they would like tie string around his waist and like a metal tray, and he'd run through the fields plowing up his grandfather's field. So, you know.
I feel like I just swallowed a tablespoon of dirt, so I'll be right back.
All right, mate.
It's a bit like Rocky trying to catch a chicken, isn't it? That sort of old school training. Running around playing up his fucking grandfather's fucking potato field. What's going on?
Just quickly before this fight starts, Tony Kelly said, "Who's the best striker in the Premier League era, lads?"
Oh,
Premier League
era. Well, for me, there's only one. And I'm going to be a bit biased, but even if I wasn't an Arsenal supporter, you have to put Thierry Henry up there, don't you?
I think you do. I think,
and even if you've got other strikers that may have got a few more goals more than him, the thing is with Thierry Henry, his goals look a lot better than Alan Shearer's goals. If you know what I'm getting at, they're more eye-catching. Do you know what I'm getting at? I'm not dissing Alan Shearer, but there was a lot more panache with Henry's goals, right?
I know what you're saying. And this fight is underway now. Round 1. Burns is in the yellow. He's like Brazilian shorts, and Thompson's in like the grey ones.
Oh, they haven't started here yet.
No, I haven't started yet either.
The Brazilian guy looks a bit like an overweight Alexis Sanchez.
Oh my god, I love you friggin' analogies, metaphors, whatever they're called.
They're just, nothing's been thrown yet at all. They're just in the middle of the room.
Yeah, I got that.
We're just starting now. Here we go.
Wonder Boy.
Come on, Wonder Boy.
Sounds like the sidekick to a superhero.
Yeah.
This is the fight before the big one, boys. I'm looking forward to it.
He looks a bit out of his depth, Wonder Boy, compared to this guy. Look at them together. He does look a little bit out of his depth. Spindly.
Yeah, well, Wonder Boy. Yeah, he's a little spindly. That's a good way to describe it. Spindly.
Still feeling each other out, man. No punches thrown or anything.
No, still ain't really. A couple of kicks.
Nothing.
But it's very like a chess match at the moment. No one wants to make the first move and make a mistake.
Yeah.
But Burns has now. He's going for the takedown.
Still nothing.
Yeah, Wonder Boy doesn't want to go to the mat, so he's gonna look like that. Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy. Now he's trying to get Wonder Boy.
Thompson's got some good take.
He's got him up. I see him. He's got him up against the cage.
Yeah.
Gilbert, is that his name? He's got Wonder Boy up against the cage. Wonder Boy. He's trying to get Wonder Boy down to the mat. I guess you would have yelled it out already, Terry, if it happened.
Nothing.
Yeah, he's trying to take down Wonder Boy.
He's just got him up against the cage at the moment.
Eventually it'll wear off where I stop laughing every time Stan says Wonder Boy. It hasn't worn off yet.
Best MMA fighter ever. Oh, that's an hard
Just
one.
locked up at the minute at the side of the cage. There's not a lot going on.
No, not a lot going on whatsoever. Best
just
MMA fighter ever. Oh, you got a few different fighters, like I said, Tony, earlier on. Going right back to the beginning of the UFC Ultimate Fight Series, Forrest Griffin and Stephan Bonner was absolutely phenomenal. Then you had Diego Sanchez. Obviously, you had people like Tito Ortiz, Chuck Liddell. Shamrock himself, he was good. Matt
Ken
Sarah.
Shamrock.
Huh?
Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, Ken Shamrock. Yep.
I used to watch him in the
Ken
WWF.
Shamrock, wasn't he
Yeah,
a wrestler? Ken Shamrock was a wrestler.
Yeah,
But,
he
yeah,
was.
but I remember them saying, when I used to watch it, they used to say that he was pro ex-MMA or something, but I'd never seen him in that. I'd only seen him in the wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He was basically like the Lesnar, wasn't he? You know, the first sort of like proper real fighter to go into the wrestling sort of thing, you know, like MMA sort of thing.
Yeah, Gilbert is on top now. He took him to the floor, and he's on top of it.
Oh, they're on the floor now.
You know, Wonder Boy had to practice getting out of this, but I don't know how he's going to.
Well, this is Gilbert's forte here. Having him on the floor, trying to tie him up.
Gilbert's got him in a leg lock. So Wonder Boy can only use his right leg.
He's tied up at the moment. Yeah, exactly. He's tied up.
Wonder Boy,
trying to come back to his feet, but he's got. I don't know where he's got blood now coming out of him somewhere.
I think Wonder Boy's toast.
Yeah, I think Wonder Boy's toast because he's got a leg lock on his left leg, so he can only go up with his right leg.
Yeah.
Oh my God, is he going to get out of this?
Yeah, he's got blood coming. Where's that blood coming from? I don't know where.
Are you allowed to fucking knee in the balls in this?
No, you're not.
Oh, okay.
No. Surely not.
Do they still? When I watched this shit when it first started getting popular, do they still have the toe stomp?
Yeah.
Wonder Boy's on his knees now. They're off the floor. So
right.
he's got
you see how they're clinched up here? You see how they're clinched up? I can't. McGregor versus, I think it was. Oh, that was a good punch.
Wonder Boy took half blows to the head.
Terry, if you're going to yell out that was a good punch, I'm 30 seconds behind you. Stan is about a year and a half behind us. And you need to say who threw the punch.
So that was a good punch by Burns. But it's over the first round. But you see how they was clinched up there? McGregor versus Corone, I think it was. They was clinched up like that, and McGregor was doing his shoulder like that, smashing his shoulder into Corone's nose and face, and he won by that. Doing that a few times, he knocked him out by just with his shoulder, more or less. Unbelievable.
3 seconds left. 2 seconds left. That's it. Round finishes.
Stan, I need to ask you. Terry and I both are McGregor fans. Him way more than me because I just learned about McGregor and kept watching videos, and I friggin' love the guy. Are you who are you rooting for tonight?
The thing is, right, with Conor McGregor, that thing where he went into that pub, wasn't it, and wanted to buy everybody a drink, and there was like some old boy who was just in there having a drink, and he said that he didn't want a drink. I'm all right, thanks. And Conor McGregor took offence and started like roughing him up. And it was an old boy. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, I don't like that. I don't like that. It's like, you know, you only see these people when you see them in their interviews and in, you know, press conferences and whatever. But it was like security footage. For me, that was like a peek at the real person. You know, that's how
I'm glad you did.
So as much as I can appreciate what he's achieved in that, there is a part of me that when I see him fight, I like to see him get bashed up because for that old boy.
Terry, can I just say something real quick? First of all, I'm really, really glad that you don't agree with us, Stan, because I love shows that have different points of views, and I mean that from the heart. I'm not being condescending. I'm freaking ecstatic. You're rooting for Poirier. Can you tell me how to say his name? Poirier? Whatever. But for me, I'm not usually drawn to guys like McGregor, but he backs up what he says. He's like a live action hero right in front of me. And I know that he has, you know, temper, but I think that goes with the territory. And I just love him. I am drawn to him. I love men that say something and back it up. And that's just huge for me. I'm sorry, Terry, that wasn't short. I'm sorry, Terry, that wasn't short.
Listen, for me, with Conor McGregor, like I said, I've seen him from even before he was in the UFC. So I've watched his career right the way through, basically. Listen, he is an absolute phenomenal fighter. and he brings it. Like you said, he backs up. He was probably one of the first fighters in the UFC that backed up everything he said from the start, at the beginning, when his head was in the game, when he was young, raw talent. You know, in his first UFC fight, straight after he won that, the words run out to me. It was fantastic, the words he said. I'm not here to take part, I'm here to take over. With them words straight away, do you know what I mean? And that's what he did. To be fair, that is what he did. That's what I'm saying. UFC was fantastic, and it was on its way up without McGregor. But as soon as McGregor come on the scene, he elevated the UFC to another level, to an absolute another level for me. And, you know, when he won his fight, I can't remember who it was against, and he said, I think it was when he won the second belt. He won the second belt, the first fighter in UFC history to hold two belts simultaneously in two different weights. He's come out and he said, I want to apologise to absolute no one. That's what he come out and said. He's just absolutely fantastic with his words and the way he is, and his fighting ability. He's very unorthodox. I love his punches, combinations. He can throw an uppercut from all different angles, and then he goes with the over left once he throws the uppercut. I mean, he is just brilliant for me. I mean, he's like Marmite, don't get me wrong. Like, you know, as we can see, there's a lot of people that don't like him for what he does, things like that. But for the things that he does for UFC, the actual fighter that he is, he's just phenomenal. The crowds that he brings, the Irish fans, every one of them back him. Do you know what I mean?
I got it. Terry, I did not know you were such a huge fan that followed him since the very beginning. Stan, I'll be really quick, I promise. What was up with McGregor after the first fight where he beat him, where all of a sudden he turned nice? He showed respect, but it just seemed so out of character. What was that all about?
Well, I was explaining this before you two come on, and for me, what it is, Glenn, is that with the first fight, when he has a fight against a fighter for the first time, he's obviously right in the game. Do you know what I mean? His head's in the game. He studies them, and he works them out. He knows his game plan and things like that, and that's how he wins. For the second fight, however, to me, I think he changes things backstage, like, you know, what I mean by that is that he then starts thinking that it was so easy the first fight and the first time. He relaxes too much, if you know what I mean. It's going to be the same. So then, like, you know, in his build up, he has his family over, and, you know, his camp's all different and things like that. Whereas in this fight tonight, this camp now, he's even come out himself. He's gone back to bases. You know what I mean? He's banned his family from coming out. He's banned himself and the kids, you know what I mean, because he wants to. He's got that work effort back. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. It seems like to me, this is just my opinion, that when he has a second fight against these people, he relaxes too much, and, you know what I mean, he gives them too much respect. That's the difference. Whereas now in this second one, in the third fight, he's gone back to it, mate, and I think that's dangerous. I think that's very, very dangerous. And I think this is a wounded man. And I do believe and think he will win in this match.
Yeah. Stan, last time I saw the Circle Spider-Man is because it was too hot in Vancouver and you had your shirt off and you didn't want us to see your chest. Did you remove your shirt again? No. Why am I not seeing your pretty little face?
Because in order to watch this, I have to watch it on the same computer on another tab. And it's really weird talking to you guys, but not seeing you.
I see. Yeah, that would drive me crazy.
You lot can see me, and I keep picking my nose and stuff. But what I would say as well about Conor McGregor, I think he's definitely the kind. He's definitely the brand of the sport and the face of the sport. You know, he's brought so many eyes onto the product. But I definitely think as well that he's the kind of guy that in a couple of years' time, he's definitely going to turn up in the WWE. Not because he needs the money or anything like that, but just his personality. He loves the show, right? And as you say, I mean, you know, he loves to talk. I bet he'll have a go of it just because of the show, you know, that it brings. And I think he'd be very good at it as well.
No, I totally agree with you. We're just in the third round now. The third and final round of this welterweight fight. at the moment, I'd definitely say Burns is winning it. So if it goes to the judges, oh, he's just on his back foot.
Wait. I only know Wonder Boy. Which one is Wonder Boy?
The one on the left in the grey shorts.
Okay.
Oh, that was a good punch.
Wonder Boy is the really white.
No. I meant what's Wonder Boy's name? Is it Burns?
Oh, Thompson.
Okay, that's what I meant. I know who Wonder Boy is.
So I was going to ask you, right, Terry, the guy that McGregor's fighting tonight, what's the history between these two guys?
Well, they had the first fight a few years ago, and McGregor absolutely KO'd him in the first round. He's very easily. And in the second fight, obviously, McGregor was coming back off the loss to Khalid when we done that watch-along, guys.
Yeah, we watched that one together, didn't we?
Oh, that's a great kick there. He's put Burns down on the floor, Thompson there. And now Burns is coming back. They're throwing punches together now. Oh, that was a good little outburst.
I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see that.
We watched that second one, didn't we, Terry, if I remember right?
Yeah, we watched the Khalid one.
Yeah.
And we watched
there it is. Ow.
We also done the watch-along of the Poirier one when McGregor got beat there and all. So that's the history of it, basically. It's 1-1. Like I said, for me personally, I think the second time round for Conor, when he fights someone, he just relaxes too much. He changes stuff in his work background.
Oh, that back heel roundhouse kick from Wonder Boy was pretty nice.
Good, wasn't it? That was a good one. But now Burns has got him wrapped up against the cage again at the moment. And now he's taking him down to the floor, Burns. We've got 2.5 minutes left of this final round.
So I wanted to ask you something, like, Terry, with England and stuff like that, right? What's your take on it when you're watching England and you're viewing Harry Kane? For example, I was like saying to someone the other day, we just don't celebrate Harry Kane goals in this house. We just don't. I mean, obviously, I want England to do well. And when he does score a goal, I kind of cheer, but I'm cheering for England. I'm not cheering for him. I just, I don't know what it is, but, what's your take on it? And, what's your take on him as an England striker and as the England captain, trying to look at it without being biased?
Without being biased, I know obviously a lot of people will say he's a Tottenham player and I don't cheer it because of that and things like that. For me, when they're playing for England, I don't look at clubs who they're playing for. It's just England for me. So, me personally, obviously, I'm happy when Harry Kane score. Whoever scores, to be honest. Obviously, I'm more ecstatic when Saka scores or does something more better because obviously he is an Arsenal player. So you've got that sort of bond there already. But personally, if Harry Kane scores, I don't look at it straight away that a Tottenham player just scored. Maybe after when you got the Tottenham fans saying, well, Tottenham's won it or whatever because Harry Kane scored, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? But for me, Stan, personally, I don't look at it like that. He's just an England player, and if he gets a goal, I'm ecstatic because hopefully he gets a goal tomorrow night and England win the Euros. Please
let me answer that question too, Stan. Please. Because we all look at things differently, and I'm with Terry on this. I jump off the couch when Harry Kane scores. But you want to know something else? By being able to just look at him as a player on the team that I'm rooting for, is like how fucking good he is. I can appreciate that. I'm like, holy shit, he is a great passer. You know what I mean? That guy is one of the top strikers in the world, Stan. I don't know how you can't appreciate him scoring for England.
Let me ask you this then, Glenn, right? Would you replace Aubameyang with Kane if you had the chance?
Yes, but I wouldn't have to deal like you guys with the grocer and the baker and the gas station attendant all saying, you went back on your word. I recognize, yes, that to me, that's a no-brainer.
I mean, there's no doubt that he can score goals. There's been times when he's either won the Golden Boot or been joined or whatever, or 1 goal away. He can obviously score goals, and he does it at international level. It was a bit slower for England when the campaign started off, but it's going to be interesting to see how he does at another club, I think it's obvious that he's going to move at some point, right? Because
well, the thing that I thought Tottenham said they weren't going to sell him, and then I read a story where Kane said, "I've been loyal for all these years. I would appreciate that they respected my wishes." And I was like, "Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Come on, how can you play for a team? How can a team make you play for them when he says that?" If you have no heart, Terry, you have to answer that question too, because I don't want to look like an asshole. Aubameyang for Kane, straight up.
At the moment, you've got to say yes, haven't you? Because obviously, Aubameyang didn't do it last season, let's be honest, whereas Kane is still doing it. So at the moment, you've got to say that you would take Kane over Aubameyang.
Sorry.
No, go on, Stan.
I was just going to say, for me, sometimes it's about personality and liking. And what I mean by that is, a lot of people you can talk to, Arsenal supporters, who really, they get annoyed when when we discuss, for example, how close we were to getting Luis Suarez, the 40 and 1 million, the 40 and £1 and all of that. Whereas, as well as I would admit, had we bought him, he probably could have helped us win the league that season. For me, it would have taken the shine off of it because I don't like him. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I just don't like him. I don't like him. So when people say things like the Xhaka argument, he had man of the match for Switzerland and this, that, and the other. I'm like, for me, it's never about he was better this season than he was last season. I just don't like him. If I don't like a player, I don't want them for me personally, I don't want them as part of my team. For example, when I boot up FIFA, the new FIFA game, or whatever, those players that I don't like, they're gone. It doesn't matter what the fucking overall rating is. Their overall rating could be 87, 88, but I don't want them part of my little world. So, for me, when Xhaka threw the armband down and all of that, it just kind of turned something in me where I don't really care about his stats anymore. I don't really care what he brings to the team anymore. I just don't like him. I want him away.
It doesn't matter to you that he was a childhood Arsenal fan?
No.
Okay.
No, it doesn't even me. Just quickly before we carry on with that, Burns has won by decision there. So he's beat Wonder Boy. Burns has won by decision.
I'm sorry, it's funny again.
But so the build up now is for the main fight. We'll get onto that in a minute, but we'll carry on. For me, I totally agree with you what you said about Xhaka. Not only that, he's been at Arsenal for 5 years now. He's done absolutely fuck all. Let's be honest. He's done fuck all for our club, as far as I'm concerned, anyway. And it's time for him to go. He's you know what I mean. He'll probably go and move abroad to Italy, Roma, if that's where he's going.
I'll give you another example. When I remember that summer or whenever that transfer window, when we were linked that we were going to go out and buy Danny Welbeck from Man United, I was so vexed. I was like, really? Fucking hell, Danny Welbeck, you're having a fucking laugh. But
I'm not laughing at you, Stan. I'm laughing at the comment about Wonder Boy. I'm sorry. Please, can you just rewind your story like 5 seconds?
I was just saying that when I saw that we were linked with Danny Welbeck, when we actually bought him, and I saw the links, we're going to buy Danny Welbeck, I was fucking vexed. I was like, really? We're buying that guy from United, Danny Welbeck. But again, he is a player that he turned me round. I've got a lot of time for Danny Welbeck. I really like him. If I'm reading something and I see his name pop up, I want to read it to find out what they're saying. I still like to keep my eye out. He was again, a player that I didn't like. I didn't want him to be part of my Arsenal team, but he actually won me over. And he might have been limited, but there was something about him that I always thought that he was always giving his all. And you can't deny that about someone. And so what I'm saying is he can be turned around, right? Or because you don't like someone, that doesn't mean that you can't be swayed.
That's a positive. That's a positive trait to have. Like turning off whatever that noise is, Spider-Man. So
that's me finding a new stream. Sorry.
I agree with you. You know, Welbeck won me over because of his attitude and his work rate. And one other point about Harry Kane: as soon as the season starts, I hate him again. It's an instant shift. Okay, intense hate. If he stays at Tottenham, it's an intense hatred. If he goes out of the Premier League, I'm never going to think about him.
I totally agree, boys. I totally agree with you. As soon as it gets back to Tottenham, then you know what I mean. I hate him and all. So
I've got another question for you guys, because I just remembered about it, and people in the chat box as well, about the the Amazon thing that's going to be happening now at Arsenal. What's it called? All or Nothing. The documentary where it's going to be out. It's going to be out for the next season, which means that they're probably already filming it now. Then, right? It's already must have started some sort of filming. What are your thoughts on it? Good or bad?
My answer's quick. I'm going to quote a fantastic tweet that I saw today about this stupid Amazon thing. It said, "Arsenal fans ask for a lot of things. No one asked for this." That's the way I feel. I don't want to see it.
For me personally,
sorry, go on,
Stan. Go on. You go.
I was just going to say, obviously, I'm going to watch it. It's
Obviously, yes.
Yeah, it's going to be there to be watched. And I remember watching the Tottenham one, and there were some things in that where I was, like you're pissing yourself, but it's like cringeworthy. You know, it was I remember the one bit where Jose Mourinho came in, and he was taking one of his first training sessions, and he was, the players are running around doing their drills, and he was going, "That's right, good, Walker Peters, good Walker Peters." And he said, and then he looked at the player and he said, "What you like, Walker or Peters?" And Walker Peters went, "Both." And Jose Mourinho went, "Both? That's too long, man. That's too long."
See, that's fantastic. I have something in my brain that I can't fix. I despise that team so much I couldn't watch it, despite everybody saying it was really good. I just could not watch it because I despise that team so much. Terry, did you watch it?
I didn't watch all of it. I see some of it, and to be honest, it was just Tottenham, so it just didn't interest me. So I didn't watch all of it. I'm not a lover of Mourinho, as everyone knows. You know what I mean? So it just pissed me off even more, to be honest. So I couldn't watch all of it. I watched about 3 or 4 episodes, and then that's when I gave up watching it, to be honest. But getting on to Arsenal, I'm excited about it. Obviously, it's about Arsenal. Who wouldn't be excited about it? Do you know what I mean? So me personally, that's the way I look at it. And I just thought it was so funny. As soon as it was announced, all the Arteta out brigade got their knickers in a twist about it.
Why? What do you mean?
Want to see what do we want to see this? We got 8th place, blah blah blah, and all this rubbish. And it was just unbelievable crap talk, to be honest.
I just think that we don't need it at the minute. I think we're in the middle of a really crucial rebuild, and having something like that is a bit of a distraction. I also think as well that obviously I'm going to be watching it, but I know that what I'm watching, it's not really behind the scenes. It's going to be scripted as fuck. Arsenal are going to have...
Oh, yeah.
Arsenal have full...
And they always... Stan, please, let me just say one thing and then continue. They always manipulate and edit these things. It's never what you see. Go ahead. I just want
to... Guys, like I said, why? Listen, you know what I mean? They got their knickers in a twist, the Arteta rats, but surely this would be great for them, because it approved their point, wouldn't it? It approved how bad Arsenal are under Arteta and how bad Arteta is. And hopefully they get their wish, and Arteta will be set live on Amazon. You know what I mean?
I just think that where we are at the moment, it's not like we're riding high. Where we are, we're going through a very crucial rebuild. Some of the stats that we broke last season were for the wrong reasons. I just think that having this camera crew thing going on right now is a really bad distraction for Arsenal. Obviously, I'm going to watch it, but I worry that it's going to do more harm than good. Do you know what I mean? But it's going to be okay. Cut. Let's do that one again. Okay, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Personally, for me, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about this upcoming season. I know a lot of people don't want Arteta and things like that, but for me, like I've been saying, boys, over the last 2 years since Arteta's been here, there's a job to do. It doesn't matter if it was Arteta. It could have been any manager that come. We needed to have a rebuild, a total rebuild, a total restart from the bottom upwards, and that's what's been happening. I can't understand why people can't see it. And if this ain't proved it at the moment, where we're signing up all of our youngsters to 5-year deals, even down to our youth team players now to 5-year deals, after all that, we always used to say it, me, you, Stan, Kenny, all of us, why are we not signing up this young player like Gnabry and all these players to long deals? Why are we letting them get to a stage where they're dictating to us as a football club what these are going to do, these players? Now it's turned round. It's turned round. We're dictating to them and saying, well, look, we'll put you through these academy. You will sign a deal, or otherwise we'll sign you at a young age. And, maybe you'll carry on with your and have a great career at another club, or maybe you'll go backwards. So you either stay here and you stick to the rules that we're saying now, and you sign the 5-year, 6-year deal. So obviously we can sell them on then if they don't work out or they do work out or whatever. It's phenomenal what going on at the moment behind the scenes. All the stick that the backroom staff are getting, Edu and all these people and Arteta, I don't understand it. 5 of our young up and coming prospects, Saka, Smith Rowe is just on the verge of signing it. I've known it's been done for ages. I don't know why people still think that Aston Villa are going to come in and fucking take him away from us, because that's absolutely dumb as shit if you think that Aston Villa are going to get Smith Rowe. You know what I mean? Listen, guys, we'll carry on with this conversation afterwards, because right now, McGregor is on his way out to the ring. He looks up for this. He's got his Irish flag around him. I haven't got the volume on, so people in the chat, please let me know if he's got his original tune on, the Irish song. I can't think what it's called. Has he got that playing? But he's coming down to the octagon now. He's not fucking about, straight to the octagon.
I wish my sound worked.
Listen, I'm so pumped for this, and he looks very, very focused to me.
Okay, I've just got him. He's doing his walk now. He's got he looks very focused, doing his bowling out.
He's gone back to basics again. Do you know what I mean?
How much does he get now for a fight, McGregor? What's his kind of?
My God. I would hate to think how much he gets for this fight. To be
5 million, more or less.
More than that.
Oh yeah,
more than that.
Where is this fight taking place?
Las Vegas.
Fucking full, isn't it? Obviously, there's no COVID rules there, is there?
No, they're in the same time zone.
All reopened yesterday, according to Dana White.
That was handy, wasn't it, for him?
Well, exactly. You got the Raiders Stadium that's all opening now, and the new one that was just being finished off when we was there, when I was there last February, and the T-Mobile Stadium is literally opposite the MGM where I stayed and all. This fight is gonna. I'll tell you what. Can't wait for this to kick off.
Doesn't he play that song "Notorious" by Duran Duran or something, or Biggie Smalls or something?
My sound doesn't work, so I don't know what's going on.
I haven't got it on because obviously. There he goes. He's got his little walk in the ring there.
He's like a freaking someone that jumped out of movies. I love it. He's real life. Look, I love that strut. I love it every time.
He's phenomenal. He's a phenomenal character. Yes, I mean he's got his flaws outside of the UFC.
We all have flaws. We all have flaws.
Do you think he can get to a stage though where when you get to a kind of a lifestyle that he has? I mean, the lifestyle that he has now has got to be a lot different to the lifestyle he had when he was younger, right? When you get to do you think that affects your performance?
Listen,
hungry,
I got a quick answer to that. Terry said earlier that Conor made his whole family stay half a country away from him while he was training, while Poirier had his wife and daughter with him. So, I think, but he draws strength from them. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I think that might be the difference because Conor is focused. Go ahead, Terry.
No, you're totally right there. That's what I'm saying. He said it himself, McGregor, in the second fight. Do you know what I mean? He changed things in the back room, the backstage. He changed it. You know what I mean? This in that second one, he had his family over, his kids over. So you know, it was an horrible thing to say. Like it was a distraction, and it took his mind away from actual training and the way he would train normally. So this time, that's what I said. He's gone back to basics. He's, you know, he hasn't had anything to distract him whatsoever. He hasn't done any of the showmanship that he does when he's on top of the world. Basically, he's cut that right out. Yes, he's done the previews and a couple of them, and all the trash talk and all that has started the last couple of days and that. But before that, do you know what I mean? Just total focus on the fight now this time round for me. And Poirier is on his way down to the octagon now. Obviously, he's ranked number one behind the champion at the moment. And
so is this back to the number one contender spot?
Dustin Poirier is a number one contender for the title.
So this is if McGregor beats him, he'll be like the number one contender and fight a champion.
He'll go up, yeah. He's number 5, I think, at the moment, McGregor. So,
well, I'm glad that somebody tell me how to say his name. Poirier. How do you say his name? Or are you guys as lost as I am?
Poirier. That's the way I say it. Poirier.
Okay, what Terry just said.
And I'm not the best at pronouncing names, Glenn. You know that.
I've just seen his missus. Jesus.
Speaking as a guy with wife and kids, they drain your life force. So that's why McGregor's going to win. I don't care what kind of strength Poirier gets from them. I think the edge goes to McGregor. He's 100% business, and Poirier is 99% business. I'm telling you, man. You just look in his eyes. You can tell. Even Stan, who doesn't like McGregor, said, "Oh, look at that." So
yeah, but listen, that Poirier, man, he's doing this for that little old bloke in the pub. That's who he's doing it for. I don't. Little bloke who was just sat in the bar drinking his fucking light and mild.
They're going into red already. Look, they've just got into the octagon and they're squaring up with each other already. They've got the referees in between them.
I wish I had a villain for this. They're both amazing fighters, you know, and they're both amazing guys. I wish
he's got some cauliflower ears on him, any of that Poirier. Fucking hell, look at him, they're like broccolis. Look at him, Jesus. Fucking hell.
Now I'm going to see for the next 5 minutes is his ears.
They're like big rashes of bacon. Look at them, big rashes of bacon, man. Like pork chops.
Oh wait, I'm not going to drink now. You're going to.
They're both 32 years old, both 5'9", both weighing in 156. McGregor's got a 2-inch reach difference.
Hey, I'm 5'9" too, and both those guys could probably knock me out with their pinky.
This is nearly time to go, boys. Nearly time to go. Bruce Buffer is doing his great speech. Conor McGregor, look, he's just wants to get on with this. He doesn't want to wait around.
Did they introduce him yet? And I can't hear it because my sound doesn't work for some reason.
Dean, long-time UFC referee.
Same age, same height, same weight.
Yep.
Only 2-inch difference in reach to McGregor. Everything else is the same.
Exactly.
Don't mind me. I'm trying to fix my sound.
That's right, mate. We're just Bruce Buffer is just announcing them still.
Oh, I'm so terrible at doing two things at once. Oh,
I'm the same weight, but McGregor actually looks more toned. If that makes any sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Toned. You couldn't draw a picture of a more perfect body. That guy is it, man. That guy is perfection.
Same weight though. It's weird, isn't it? You know, but the other guy looks a little bit more out of shape than McGregor. Same age, same height, same weight.
Let us know who you think's going to win. Everyone in the chat, let us know who you think is going to win.
McGregor by knockout.
McGregor by knockout. Is Glenn's going, Stan?
Poirier for the little old man drinking his pint of light and mild.
I'm obviously going McGregor. I'm obviously going McGregor knockout too. I hope it's a quick knockout to prove a point. C-Law is saying Dustin is going to murk Connor again. C-Law is going McGregor isn't hungry anymore. They're saying Connor inside 2 minutes. C-Law saying Dustin in 3 rounds.
So just before this gets underway, what's your thoughts on the Tyson Fury Wilder that's going to be coming up quite soon?
It's not.
This month.
It's not.
What's that?
It's been cancelled. It's been cancelled.
Why?
COVID.
Has it? Fucking hell.
COVID.
Where was it being held? Where was it being held that COVID cancelled it?
No, it hasn't been cancelled because of that. It's in Tyson Fury's camp, and I think even himself has caught it.
Okay.
Oh, right. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Because that was supposed to be this month, right?
Yeah, the end of this month.
Yeah.
So I think it's been put back to November now.
So who's AJ fighting next?
I don't know.
He has to have another fight as well, a mandatory fight.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm missing so much not hearing this.
Yep.
Come on, let's get this going now.
Never smoke before you hook everything up. What?
Here we go. They're squaring up now. Dean just telling them the rules.
Say when it starts. I want to see how far ahead of me you are. Say when it starts.
They're just about to start now.
Yeah, they've just gone back to their defence.
Poirier's got his arms in the air.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
They're introducing him, the guy in the green jacket. But let's get ready to rumble. B-Tech guy. It's not the real guy, is it?
Did you guys
Here we
follow?
go. Here we go. We just started. And Connor comes out with a spinning back kick straight away, and again straight to the midriff.
I haven't even started yet.
Yeah, me neither. I can't wait to see it. They're just getting the instructions now on my
So
team.
I'm on the same as you, Glenn. I'm on the same as you.
4 kicks have connected now. 5 kicks from McGregor's 6. And the left punch into the face. He's got Poirier up against the fence at the moment. He's commanding the centre.
Keep including names, Terry, so that we know what's going on. I'm being serious. Sometimes I know you can't tell when I'm serious.
That's fine. Yeah, McGregor. This is all McGregor at the minute. He's just gone for the left punch, McGregor. He's just missed him. Another left kick to the left.
Yeah, I just saw his first 2 kicks and the third. Ouch.
McGregor is commanding centre of the ring. Another good kick there from McGregor. A few punches been thrown, but it's in game at the moment from both of them. Don't forget, we've got 5 rounds. Another good kick there from McGregor. What a good leftover out punch by McGregor. Now Poirier gets a right hand in. And another good right hand into McGregor.
Wow, Terry's good at this. Ouch.
Now Poirier's got McGregor up against the fence. That was a good couple of punches there from Poirier on McGregor. McGregor's trying to get an underarm under the chin. He's trying to go for a choke. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. He's got him. He's got him in a choke, McGregor. He's got him in an headlock. He's got him in a choke. Poirier's trying to get out of it. I don't think McGregor's got it in deep, though. Poirier's got out of it. He's got out of it. Well done to Poirier. McGregor's trying to get him back in. McGregor still got him outside.
He didn't quite have that choke locked in, did he?
Nah, Poirier's got out of it now, and now he's on top of McGregor. This is quite dangerous for McGregor here at the minute.
It's so odd, Terry being 30 seconds in the future.
I don't know what my missus is watching, but I'm watching this, and in the background, all I can hear is salt and pepper. Push it. baby.
McGregor's doing well from the bottom, though. Oh, he's throwing elbows from the bottom there. He done really well there, McGregor. The Poirier is still on top. He's defending well at the moment, McGregor, but now Poirier's trying to rain down with, he's raining down now with elbows to McGregor's face.
Down with hellfire.
I'm not going to look forward to seeing that.
But McGregor's got him tangled back up again now for a minute.
Oh, there was one elbow. How is that legal to throw an elbow at a nose? That just doesn't seem right. Ow, then he gives an elbow to the side of the head. Are you kidding me?
I'm the same as that as well, Glenn. The elbows. Naughty. But you're allowed to see that, right?
It would take one shot like that for me to I'd probably die. Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
Boy, are you raining down with elbows again now and punches? And they're missing.
Good.
Oof.
Ow. Now I'm seeing those elbows you were talking about earlier. Oh, geez.
Oh, McGregor with a good kick up from the bottom. But Poirier's back on top with some elbows again.
I've got a feeling that little bloke at the bar who's like a mould might be happy tonight.
We've got 30 seconds left of this first round.
McGregor's bloody.
I've got 1:11.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Stan.
This Poirier, mate, he's not. He's having it. He's having it, mate.
Ouch. Oh, what was Poirier moaning about there? I don't know what he was moaning at, but
McGregor's doing that thing where he's like trying to kick off with his leg.
No, I think McGregor's done something to his leg. 2 seconds left.
McGregor
has done something to his leg.
40 seconds.
This is going to be over. McGregor's broke his leg.
No way.
Yep.
No way.
Oh my God, you can sell.
32 seconds.
It's going to be over. His ankle's broke. His ankle's broke.
Oh, he's not going to fight for it
I'm
here.
seeing it now. This is going to snap it. It's just, it just snapped, I think. Yep, you see that, Glenn?
No. Yeah. Oh, yes.
No, maybe not.
It is. The fight is over. The fight is over. McGregor has lost this one again due to breaking his ankle.
Stop punching him. His ankle's broken. Stop punching him.
His ear's all bleeding.
Oh, that's so fucked. That's so brutal.
There you go, mate. That's for the little man in the pub.
That's just a freak thing with your ankle breaking.
I think it's when he got up. I don't think it was a leg kick or anything. I'll have to have
it's when he got up because then he went right back down again. I'm waiting for the replay.
Before that, he had him in a hold and his ankle was in like this really weird lock. And it looked like it might have snapped. And then when he tried to stand up on it, he couldn't put his...
I see what you're saying.
I'm trying to replay now.
I think Stan's right.
Where he was like this lock and his leg was...
Oh my God. I'm right over on it afterwards. Oh, that's awful. You watch, look, it snaps when he does that, and then when he goes back and puts it, oh my God, it goes over. Oh,
did he do it to him? Wait, I thought Stan might be right that it happened and the adrenaline's pumping, and then when he finally tries to stand on it, that's not what happened. I don't have a replay yet. Come on, give me a replay.
No, he goes to stand up, and then when he goes to throw a punch, he's putting all his weight on his back left leg, and that's when it snapped.
Okay.
He took his leg up off the floor, and then when he went to put it back on his floor, obviously his foot went underneath his leg.
I saw it.
That reminded me of remember that fucking Alf Inge Haaland. Remember that, Terry? Alf Inge Haaland.
What are they shouting at each other here? Sorry, mate, they're shouting at each other. I don't know what's going on here.
That's
David Bust.
How the fuck did that happen?
That's like David Bust.
Oh, he never got his.
Yeah.
He put the weight down before his foot was set.
Yeah.
He put the weight down. His foot was sideways. He went to put the weight down and snapped his own fucking ankle.
They're not wearing any like footwear with like ankle supports like boxers, right? They're just barefoot.
Watch
No,
it
exactly.
again. He goes to put the weight on it to throw a punch, I guess, and he doesn't have his foot set. It's sideways, and he puts that weight down on the sideways foot and breaks his own foot.
Yeah.
But I have to think, even before that, I think McGregor was looking a bit fucked. I mean, his ears all bleeding and everything, man. I thought that he was getting a bit of a pounding, personally. I don't think he was on top up until that point. I don't know about anybody else.
Well, there was a point where he was kicking at him from the ground, and I'm like, wow, that guy's got strong legs, and his legs are going this way and that way, and maybe there was some damage when that was happening.
I don't know, when he was kicking him from the ground, I was chuckling because I was kind of like, that's the sort of thing that I would do. You're like, get off, get away.
Michael saying what happened. Hold up, guys. Michael saying what happened. Well, in the first round, Conor started off really good, and then for the first 30 seconds, basically a minute, and then Poirier got him on the floor and done a little bit of damage to his ear, and that it was bleeding. And McGregor was kicking from the bottom, and then when McGregor got up with the last 15 seconds left to go, he went to throw a punch, and you could see his leg at his ankle snapped at the bottom. And then as he went to put his weight back on it, it basically dislocated his ankle and all with it. Oh, it was terrible. So the fight has been stopped. Obviously, Poirier gets the win. I'm just listening now. They're going to... I can't believe that they haven't put it in a leg brace. You know what I mean? If this was a footballer by now, they'd have had it in a leg brace and everything. Do you know what I mean?
There was a bit in that fight. I'm just watching the replay again where it looked like his ankle definitely got worked when he was in that on the ground.
Kicking, right?
Really weakened it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, maybe even you know, sprained it or whatever.
Yeah.
And when he went to put the weight on that foot without setting it, yuck.
Oh well, there you go. So where does this leave McGregor now in his? You know, does he come back in another fight, or is it like? You know?
He want to come back and fight this one again, definitely, without a shadow of that. You can see the
because it's not ended in his eyes as a proper fight. It's ended because of an accident.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh no, this guy that beat him tonight is classy. He'll fight him again. Absolutely.
Yeah.
My man.
I hope when my wife yells at me tomorrow for spending $70 on a fight,
he just said Poirier. He just said that he's probably cracked his bone when he was kicking me. The way he was kicking me, he probably cracked it, and then that's when it snapped.
Is that Joe Rogan?
Yeah, Joe Rogan. Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of people ringside. Will Smith. I forgot all the names. Oh, Trump was ringside also tonight.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, he was ringside.
Oh, right.
Oh, it's a shame. I didn't know that about the Tyson Fury thing. I was looking forward to doing that, Tel.
Yeah, so was I, mate. I wasn't.
I was really looking forward to that one.
Oh, for $70.
I'm sitting there watching the screen with a guy talking with the volume down. What are we doing? I can't even understand what you're saying.
I'm just turning it up a bit so I could just listen to what you're saying. I just want to see what Conor says.
Come on, ask him if he'll give him a rematch.
You know that your background, right, Glenn? You look like you're sitting in Santa's grotto. But do you know what? Do you know what it reminds me of? Right, when I used to live in Amsterdam, we put up a Christmas tree one year, and we left that sucker up for about 7 years. And it was just because in the evenings, you know, I just like the lights on when I'm watching TV. It was just a nice feeling. Do you know what I mean? And it'd be like August, and you would see people walking past our house. and then looking up and seeing the tree and pointing and laughing. And I'd be like, yeah, you're laughing now, but I haven't got to fucking climb up into a loft in November to bring this fucker down. It's already here. So I win.
These are not. This is only the second time they've been on. These are all my outside.
He's just asking Connor. Hold up 2 seconds, boys. Just going to try and listen. He's saying it's not over. He's saying that he boxed the brains off of him, basically.
How many fights is that? He lost his last fight, right? As well. What about the fight before that? Did he win that, or was he on a run of 3 losses?
I don't know. This guy blows me away. It's like you have the perfect excuse to be away from the wife and kids, and he takes them with him. So God bless him. It doesn't usually work that way.
I actually think that because of this loss, we'll probably see him in the WWE a little bit sooner than I anticipated. He'll probably be on this Monday night's Raw.
What's Connor saying, Terry?
He's basically saying that he wants to fight him again as soon as he's back. Basically, he was boxing his head off. He was winning the fight, McGregor is saying.
I don't think so.
Oh, no, I disagree with that.
I disagree with that big time, man.
And he said even if he wants to fight him outside, he'll fight him outside. So
I think McGregor's delirious, man. I just keep seeing those elbows raining down on his head. There's no way he was winning that first round.
I don't think he was. I don't think at that particular point, I don't think he was ahead, personally. No. I thought the other guy looked like he had a bit of more control, especially when he was lying on his back doing that wild kicking away. To me, I was like, they don't train you to do that. That's the sort of shit I do in panic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Lone Star says it brilliant here. He's put Connor's taking a moment to apologise to absolutely nobody.
I love the fact that he's sitting in the ring with his ankle broken and he's being interviewed and still fucking oozing confidence and come on, I love that.
Boys, you know, look at the difference there, because if that was a footballer now on the floor, he'd be rolling about, crying. You know what I mean?
It's a different ball game, isn't it? It's like, the show goes on. The show goes on, isn't it?
Yeah, Joe Rogan said to him, like, tell us what you felt at the time when it broke and that. He went, the fucking thing, it snapped and it turned out and I couldn't fight anymore, basically. And that's what he's saying. You know what I mean? We'd all be sitting there crying our eyes out. Do you know what I mean? And God knows what. So
my wife a year and a half ago broke her ankle and within 10 seconds passed out from the pain. It was brief, but it was so painful she passed out. He's giving an interview to millions of people. I mean, the pain he must have been in.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But I think the adrenaline kicks in, obviously, do you know what I mean? And everything else. And once he gets backstage and everything calms down and that, I think that's when it'll kick in and start bloody hurting, to be honest. But there we go.
I got stabbed in my arm, not in a fight by accident, but I didn't realise at the time until a little bit later when I looked at my arm and I noticed that my sweater was kind of like in my arm, and I kind of like pulled out my jumper to think what's going on, and when I saw the blood, it was at that moment I passed out.
Oh, wow.
When I saw it, but, I didn't feel it at the time. I wasn't in pain. It wasn't until I registered what had happened that I felt the pain and passed out.
Yeah. No, I totally understand where you're coming from. I don't know if you can actually see, but there's scars on my fingers.
Yeah.
And my hand and my thumb. What happened was I used to work in a scrapyard with my cousin. It was my cousin's yard, and we used to get the railway cables and for the copper and the thing and that. So what you used to do, you used to put a cable in, and it used to squash it in the middle and then cut the aluminium so that you can open the aluminium and get the cable out. Well, my hands are really small, and them industrial gloves that you have to wear are really big on mine. And I was putting it through, and the glove got caught, and my hand went in the machine. and it was stuck in there. It was stuck in there, and obviously the person ran over to me and said, like, because it was on a cog. One way you make it go deeper to cut the cable even more, and the other one is to release it. And he was like just standing there, he didn't know what to do. I just said, for fuck's sake, just do it either way. I want to get my hand out, you know what I mean? And he done it, got my hand out, took the glove off, and all I see was my thumb. And all that was the bone sticking up. The bone was sticking up, and the skin was flapping over.
So it sounds like a scene out of one of them fucking Saw movies, doesn't it?
I'm just like,
You know,
I really thought I knew it was going to be an awful story, and I really seriously thought about muting you and just shaking my head like I was pretending I was listening.
It was like just before Terry's hand got stuck in, right? A television turned on, and all he saw was, "Hello, Terry. I'd like to play a game."
Oh, Terry, that story was truly gross.
Honestly, it was really bad.
All right.
See that bit there?
Weren't we arguing about Arteta or something? How did it come to grossing me out? Oh, no, it was the McGregor sitting there hurt. Yeah, that's right.
Well, listen, that fight's over with. Just quickly for 5-10 minutes before I go and try and get my head down for a few more hours before the England game tonight. Let's quickly get on to Arsenal again then and what we said. Guys, especially you, Stan, I haven't spoken to you for a while. I've been on the stream. What's your feelings at the moment, Arsenal, Arteta, and obviously the signings and whatever? Are you excited? Are you not excited? Are you Arteta out now or Arteta in? What is the story, Stan?
For me, when he came in as the manager, as you know, I was 50-50. You know, I was one of those. I wasn't deadly against it or overly excited. At the end of the season, I would say that I was probably more 70-30 against. Lost some of the things that he done in the season, sort of like I found a bit quizzical. But regarding the transfers and all of that sort of thing, you know, I like to keep abreast of the stories like everybody else. But I'm not going to pull my hair out. Not that I've got any, but I'm not going to go mad. You know, I'm not going to drive myself mad until that transfer window shuts, and that way then I can look at it and say, okay, how has the money been spent? What have we brought in? What did we do that we needed to do? What did we not get done that we needed to get done? So yeah, of course I see all the rumours, and you know, as I tweeted out the other day, you know, Arsenal are actually in talks with my nan. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I will keep everybody updated about that. I mean, they're talking to everyone, but I'm not gonna go mad until that transfer window shut, because originally I said when he got appointed that I was going to give him till around about October, November of this year. Yeah. And we're in the middle of July. I was a little bit underwhelmed with where we finished, but I want to see how this money is going to be spent. Are there going to be any more of these Willian mistakes, or are we going to be a little bit shrewder? So as much as I'm feeling anxious, I'm trying to like just bite my lip until the transfer window shuts so I can have a good idea of what his plan is.
And Stan is the exception to the rule. To keep my sanity, I don't read any transfer stories unless they start with the words Arsenal signed. Otherwise, I don't read them. You know, Terry, you said you're excited about the new season. You know, are you more than 30 seconds in the future? Are you like weeks in the future where Arsenal have actually signed some game changers? Because I don't understand how you can be excited about it. What was the original question? I'm really high.
I love that. Listen, a lot of people, like I said, won't be excited about the Tavares deal. I don't understand why. He seems a great prospect. You look at the videos, that's all we can do at the moment, because I'm not going to lie, I don't watch him every week. I've not seen him play before, so all I can do is go and have a look at the videos of what people have put on and what I can see. Obviously, these videos will show you the best bits and not the fucking worst bits. We know that. You know what I mean? We're not dumb and stupid, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he looks confident on the ball. He looks like he can play out from the back. He's very, very pacey. He gets us straight from the defence to the attack. His distribution of the ball looks fantastic. And that is more or less the same as what David Dundas is asking about Ben White. We'll get onto him in a minute, about 50 million. But if you look at both of them, if you go and look at both of their videos, they're more or less exactly the same sort of player and tactics of the way that Arteta wants to play. and that's playing out from the back with confidence, getting straight on the attack. They're not afraid to bring the ball with them and come on the attack, these players. And they both mirror each other, I think. And that shows you the way that he wants to play. Now, getting back to Tavares, now, you know, again, boys, we go back 4 or 5 years ago when we was under Gazidis, he was here, and under fucking Emery and God knows what. We was always moaning about our second-rated team. You know, what I mean by that is our second-rated players, our sub-spec. You know, we had Kozniak for the last 4 or 5 years as our backup as left-back. Now, are you telling me you wouldn't want someone like Tavares, who's in the under-21s for, is it Belgium? Not Belgium. Who is it for? He's Portuguese. Portuguese he is. You know what I mean? He's in the under-21s. There's a lot of great talk from the Portuguese about him, and he looks a fantastic prospect and a great backup to, obviously, Tierney. Now, you know, obviously a lot of Arsenal fans will say, well, we need players to come straight into the starting 11. Of course we do. This is not going to be our only signing. This is not going to be our only signing.
All right, fair. Every point you made is fair, except, and you know what? I'm not even going to argue with you about Ben White, because you're the second person I've talked to on YouTube that say this guy has something special. Okay, so I'm not going to argue about that. I am going to come back and argue to you about Ben White if we do not sign a game-changing midfielder. Okay, so I'm going to leave my argument there about Ben White. Go ahead, Stan.
Tavares, the left back, we did need obviously cover to Kieran Tierney. Kieran Tierney can't play all of the games, and I'm glad that we got somebody like this guy. I don't know anything about him, and it's funny, most of the players that we've been linked with this summer are players that I didn't know that fucking, what's his name, Bambi Lakonga. Never heard of him. I never heard of him until we were linked with him, and Ben White was never on my radar, as is this guy from Portugal. So I can't tell you what he can or can't do, but what I can say is that I think I like the profile. What I mean by that is he's going to be coming in as a backup. We're not paying a king's ransom for him. And if it doesn't work out, if it doesn't work out, if it turns out that the lad isn't a good fit, there still will be resale value on him. You know, we won't be stuck with something that, you know, there will be a little bit of resale value. So I get it. You know, I don't understand why anybody would be upset. You can't buy someone that's going to come in to play at left back every week, because that's Tierney sport. You want someone that's going to come in, keep him on his toes, and be there as an auxiliary player. The only thing about signing this player that upsets me, the only thing is that it just compounds what a waste of a fucking deal it was signing Cedric. Because when we bought Cedric, we were told we were buying him and giving him 4 years because he could play at right back and cover at left back. Well, at the minute, he's not fancied for either spot, is he? Because we're playing Callum Chambers at right back. Do you know what I mean? We're getting rid of Bellerin. So we've got this plan now on our books that we've given 4 years to. I don't know whether it was the old regime, i.e. fucking Raul Sinyehi, or whether it was part of Arteta's watch. But definitely Arteta had his hands all over it, because he straddled both of those positions. So I'm glad that we're getting this guy in, but it does kind of make me raise my eyebrow even the more of why we gave Cedric a 4-year deal, because it seems like we're going to be stuck with this kid or this guy.
Now, Terry, I know the comment section's winding you up. Just give me 30 seconds, okay? And then you can address all of that. Because I'm with you. I know Arteta's not going anywhere. You know, I'm in the 5 stages of grief. I'm done. Accepted. Arteta's not going anywhere. He's got till Christmas. Let's talk about the team, okay? For me, getting squad players is not exciting, but I'm willing to wait through the transfer period. I'm not like half the YouTube shows saying, what the F is Arsenal doing? And all the people on my timeline and Twitter.
Yeah.
I can wait. I'm patient. Okay, Terry, go ahead.
No, I totally agree with what you were saying. And I totally agree with what you said earlier on, Glenn. I don't really read into it, these ITK's bullshits, until the player has actually got his top up there and he's holding it up and it's confirmed and done. Do you know what I mean? We've had our noses burnt too many times, boys, of, you know what I mean, listening to this crap, and these players are coming and coming. They come every year, apparently. Do you know what I mean? And I'm bored of that shit now. I'm bored of it. You know what I mean? So, yes, it's good to sort of look at these ITKs and, you know what I mean? You know, there are a couple out there that you could possibly say, yeah, you know, if they're saying it, then it more or less can be done. But even them ITKs were saying that Conte was done for Tottenham. All of them were saying that it was done. You know what I mean? And it wasn't. So, you know, they can't get it wrong. So all I'm saying is just don't read too much into it until obviously we can talk about it. We can, you know what I mean, and have our arguments and disagreements about this player, if it's the right player, whatever. But at the end of the day, don't take it as concrete until it actually happens.
Okay. I'm also one thing that, obviously I like to read the rumours. I don't pay a lot of it credence, but I like to hear who we're being linked with this week, what people are saying. I find it a little bit amusing, but I will say that if I'm going to indulge myself in that world, the one name that I do like that we've been linked with for me is, and I know that he's a little bit Marmite for some people, Ruben Neves. That's a player that I've liked his profile for some time. And it's funny because a lot of people you don't like Xhaka, you're really down on Xhaka. And the thing is with Ruben Neves, for me, Ruben Neves is everything that I think Xhaka was supposed to be. Everything that people think that Xhaka can do for our team and how he plays the game and what his attributes and strengths are, I think that Ruben Neves actually exceeds in those areas. And that's one of the reasons why I'd like to get him, more so than Locatelli, because I'm always wary about a player where, it might be not where his heart lies. It's obvious that he wants to go to Juve. A lot of Italian, it's very rare for Italian, we've had a few down the years, but of recently, in the 90s, we had a few with Vialli and Zola and Di Matteo, but of late, Italians, they don't really seem to flourish and really travel far. Ruben Neves is oven ready. He knows the league. And for me, he's one that, for me, that excites me. I'd like to see that happen.
This latest one, a lot of people are excited about, but aouar, I'm not. I heard, I've watched several things on him, okay? And the two things that come up the most consistently when describing him is when he's good, but he's inconsistent. We have enough inconsistent on Arsenal. If those stories are true, I don't want aouar.
I don't know too much about aouar because I don't watch the French league, but there's a feeling about him that it's like some of our fan base seem to think that he's fucking gravy and we should get him. Whereas there is another camp that kind of feel that it would be a little bit Ozil-y. And I don't mean in the good things that Ozil did. He plays when he wants to, that kind of a thing. And I put a tweet out saying that I don't know much about this guy. This is what I'm hearing. Half say he's gravy, half say it's Ozil-y. What do you think? And he's kind of like down the middle. For me, I don't know what it is. It's like I've got a sixth sense about it. I'm not so sure about him. But he's at an age that at least there would be resale value if it turned out to be a bad fit. Because he's only like 23, right?
Yeah.
I would rather do an aouar than do a Coutinho, for example.
Right, I totally agree. I totally agree with both of you, what you said. I don't really know too much about aouar. I've not really seen a lot of him. What I've heard about him and what people say is the same thing as what there's a lot of people that say he's fantastic. He's the best thing since sliced bread. Or some people say he's, sometimes he's lazy or he's inconsistent. And so you got both sides of the argument there. But if we get a major signing in a midfielder as well as him for 20-25 million, I'd be quite happy at all. Rebuilding the squad like we need to do, not only in the 11, we need a squad of players and backup players, that are good enough to come in when our main players are not there. So for me, that is part of the rebuild. The other rumour that I've been hearing, obviously, a lot of, and everyone's getting excited about, I've been saying this to you guys and on streams now for the last 3 years, is James Maddison. James Maddison, for me, absolutely phenomenal talent. He's still very, very young. He's going to be a lot of money and a lot of wages. But for me, he would be worth it. Another one like Grealish for me, boys.
When you say he'd be worth it, would you say spending around 70 million, whether that was 60 million and add-ons, but it came to say 70 million, would you go that far, Terry, on James Maddison?
Yeah, I'd go
70 million. We could probably get 2 players for that.
But don't forget, this is what people and fans seem to forget, right? And they don't seem to like. Because when it comes to Arsenal, we always get told we're the cheapskate. Why are we the only club that do this? We would probably get him over a 4 or 5 year deal, don't forget, which will probably work out to 15, 20 million a year. If that's the case, that's nothing. You know what I mean? It's, Man United have done it with Sancho. Man United have done it with Sancho, and they're going to be paying that contract over 4 or 5 years. You don't hear nothing about that because their fans don't give a shit when it's going to be paid or when it's paid over. But when it comes to Arsenal and Arsenal fans, it's the worst thing since fucking, you know what I mean? The worst thing in history that Arsenal are the only team out there that pays for contracts over 4 or 5 years. This goes on all the time, everyone. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but it goes on fucking all the time.
Hey, can I tell you as an Arsenal fan, I think that Manchester United did a brilliant bit of business getting Sancho that cheap. I rate him very highly, and I give them props for that. I just want to throw that out there because you used it as an example of a bad thing. That kid can play.
I'd like to go with what Christopher Ward is saying in the chat box, right? Because don't get me wrong, Terry, I think Maddison is a good player. I think, as I understand it, if you look at what he does and you look at his stats for the role that he plays, he's the next one underneath Kevin De Bruyne. And we all know that fucking KDB is the fucking daddy. So he's like the next guy. If there was no KDB, this guy would be in that position for that role. However, what Christopher Ward is saying, you could pay 17 million for someone like a Sabitzer in that role, rather than shelling out 60 with add-ons, maybe somewhere around that. And obviously, we aren't a Man City yet. We don't have wads and wads of cash. If you had 60, 70 million to spend on Maddison, but you took 17 of that and spent it on a Sabitzer, you've got money left to do something else. You've got money left to go and maybe bring in another player. It doesn't have to be a first team player, but a squad player. And that's where I think we should be more prudent of how we're spending our money, rather than getting 70 million like we did in the past and spending 70 million on 2 players such as Mustafi and Xhaka. 2 players, that was 70 million. Yeah. We've got to be able to do better than that, because that same season, you probably could have bought Kante and Sayonchu, right? Yeah. And probably and not spent as much money and probably got more value. So I hear what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Maddison's no good, but I think that where we are, we're not in that position anymore. We can go out and do a 70 million on a fucking Nicola Pepe. Even if it is in installments, you can do 17 million, 18 million on a Sabitzer and then spend that other money elsewhere. That's where we need to be. Because if we do give that money to Leicester, right, if we give 60, 70 million to Leicester, they're only going to go out and spend it on 2 or 3 players that we'll all be scratching our heads and be going, why didn't we buy them?
Well, first of all, Stan, thanks for ripping that Xhaka scab off. I was just starting to heal. You know, you had to remind me of all the horribleness behind that. And the other thing is, someone brought up that Maddison is injury prone in the comments that you put up there. It shouldn't matter. Injury prone should not matter when it comes to Arsenal getting players, because they all get hurt. I mean, Partey never was hurt in his life, came to Arsenal, he was hurt 2 days later. So injury prone shouldn't matter. All right. If you wear the kit, you're injury prone on Arsenal.
I think we should go out all out and fucking sign Wonderboy. That's just my.
We got enough players when the going gets tough that curl into the fetal position. We don't need any more of that.
Listen, Maddison ain't going to happen anyway, guys, because obviously, you know what I mean? Don't forget, we was outbid by Aston Villa for Bindira, so we haven't got 30 million. We haven't got 30 million to go out and spend, apparently. Do you know what I mean? Even though, you know, we're going to get Ben White, if you listen to the rumours, for 50 million. 50 million, what do you think about that, Stan?
It's a difficult one, right? It all depends what that 50 million is coming out of. If you've got a budget of 100 million and we're spending 50 of it on Ben White, it kind of worries me. But if we've got like a couple of 100 million and, you know, we have lost a couple of centre-backs, and again, I don't know too much about Ben White, but I've been trying to do my homework since we've been linked. Looks like someone that can build the attack from the back. So I do like the sound of that. You know, if he's going to be a player that can build the attack from the back. But as I said before, if we're going to spend 50 million on this kid, and you look at his age and his profile, and you maybe standing next to a Callum Chambers and a Rob Holding, if we're going to do this deal, none of this, he can't come in and go out on loan for a year. And none of this coming in and people telling me that he has to fucking settle. He's coming from Brighton, fucking for fuck's sake, not the Himalayas, right? So he has to come in, he has to hit the ground running straight away. And I need to see with my own eyes that he is streets ahead of both Callum Chambers and Rob Holding. And then I can say, okay, fair enough. He's the second coming, 50 million mil spent.
You both make sense. I hate doing transfer talk on speculation. I feel like Michael Corleone. Every time I think I'm out, they bring me back in. Guys, I'm not going to comment on what I think is the little we got so far and this $50 million Ben White until I see more. And I know as an Arsenal fan, they always take their sweet ass time, so I don't get upset about it anymore unless I hear two of my best friends arguing about it. Go ahead.
What do you reckon, Terry?
Listen, like I said, he's a young prospect, England international. I haven't sat there and watched every single Brighton game, so I can say Ben White is an absolute steal. Do you know what I mean? But what I have seen of him, the videos again, same as Tavares. He can pick the ball up from defence, get us straight on the attack. He's great from playing out from the defence. His ball distribution looks fantastic. He's very confident on the ball. He will take the ball from defence into attack himself and all, the same as Tavares. So that's what I was saying earlier on.
All of those things that you've named, right? All of those key attributes that you've named about Ben White, I'm sure I heard most of those mentioned when we spent 27 million on Saliba.
No, I totally agree.
He can do that. He can go there. He blah blah blah. He's a blah blah blah.
Hey,
2 years. I mean, all I'm saying is that if we spend 50 million on him and we go short in the midfield, as the bearded Gooner, it's a phrase that he taught me so well. It would be like fucking mowing your lawn while your fucking house is on fire.
Okay, listen, it's 1 a.m. in New York. My son is snoring in a bed of Cheetos. I have to bring him upstairs. It was wonderful talking with you guys. Even the transfer talk was fun, I admit it, but I got to go. And also I'll have to deal with my wife spending $70 on a one-round fight tomorrow morning when she sees on her phone that I debited it. All right, take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.
Good to see you, mate.
Yeah, I've got to wrap it up as well, Tel.
Yeah, all right, mate, no problem. Just quickly, Saliba, I totally agree with you. I don't know what the coup is with that. I don't know why he ain't getting a chance. That's something we just got to leave to the manager, unfortunately, and Arsenal. What else can we do? We can't do nothing else about it. Maybe there is something that he sees every day that he doesn't like. I don't, you know what I mean? We've got to look at every side of the situation, Stan. Obviously, we want him to play. We can see how much we paid for him. Why ain't he getting a chance? But just maybe, I'm not saying that that's the truth or that's facts, but just maybe there's something there that he doesn't like. He is the manager after all. You know what I mean? If Mourinho was here and he'd done the same thing, would fans be saying, why ain't you giving Saliba a chance? No, they'd be saying, I trust in Mourinho because you've got the experience and blah, 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 and all that bollocks. Do you know what I mean? So what I'm saying is that, you know, this is not sticking up for Arteta. All I'm trying to say is there's two sides to every story, Stan.
Yeah. And there's also an outside chance that, you know, we've just extended Rob Holding's contract. Maybe the thinking is that we extend his contract so that Rob Holding holds a little bit more value. Saliba goes out on loan. And at the end of the following season, you see a transition where we sell Rob Holding, we get money back on him, and Saliba comes in. Because you remember, Saliba had a 5-year contract.
Yeah.
So he'd be coming back to us with still 2 years to go.
Yep.
You know, so, you know, maybe there's sometimes people say that Arsenal were too short-sighted and where's the longer vision? Maybe, just maybe, this is an example of that. Don't know, right?
You said that, mate. And like I keep saying to everyone, if this was the case, that he's treating all these players really badly, Stan, then I don't know about you, but me as a professional footballer, if I was in that situation and the club was dissing me and the manager was dissing me apparently and everything weren't going right, the first thing that I will be doing is I'll be going to put the transfer request in and saying, if you don't want me to play for your club and you want to put me out on loan all the time, please let me go somewhere where I can get into the first team and put my art on the sleeve and, you know what I mean, and do everything for that first team. So if that was the case, why ain't this happening with Saliba, Balogun, Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli? You know, don't forget, let's be honest, a lot of Arsenal fans out there bash Arteta every single game for not playing most of these players. But why are they still here, Stan? That is my big question.
I just think until that transfer market closes, until then, That's when we know what we have got for the season. We know who's gone out on loan, who hasn't. Is Bellerin going to be with us or not? What are the plans there? I'm as anxious as everybody else. Don't get me wrong, but I'm really trying to sort of like just, you know, pipe down until it shuts, because you never know. You know, sometimes right at the last minute, a deal gets done that comes out of nowhere. You know, Mesut Ozil, you know, there was no chatter about that. I wasn't his biggest fan in the end, but I was really excited when we signed him. It came out of nowhere, right? So I'm just going to just wait and see what happens, because we've not had any confirmation of what our money situation is. We don't actually know. It seems like it's more than most of us initially thought. So I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait and just see how Mikel Arteta and Edu spend that money, whatever it is, who goes out, what we've got, and then I'll have an idea of, okay, you know.
But most of all, that's what I keep saying, Stan. Most of all, surely people can see, right? It can't be a coincidence. This is just happening. This is what I don't understand. And I go back to what I was talking about earlier. 5 of our youngsters have now signed up to 5-year deals, right? 2 of them have just come out from professional, you know, just signed. 2 of them have just come out of the youth and signed new professional contracts of 4 to 5 year deals. So, you know, under this new regime with Edu and Vinay, and Arteta, surely you can see the change in our club, that we've had to start from the bottom upwards again. This is what I was trying to say from the very start that Arteta come in. This is what needed to happen. You can't do that straight away.
I think the only reason that these young kids have signed these contracts is they've looked and they've seen what's happening with players like Saka. They've seen what's happening with players like Emil Smith-Rowe, and they believe that if the club is going to show faith in them, then there's a pathway for them to eventually get into the first team. If you don't believe that there's a pathway for you to get into the first team, then you might as well go somewhere else, a little bit lower down, or a club of a slightly smaller stature, where at least you can play football every week. Do you know what I mean? Some of these players could leave Arsenal right now and go to a different league, maybe in the Eredivisie or in the Benelux League, maybe a league down, but they could go other places just because of the Arsenal stamp that they already have, academy-wise, and be playing almost every week. But they've decided that they believe that the club has obviously told them that they believe in them, and they've committed to 5 years because they think that, well, maybe I could be the next Saka, maybe I can be the next Emil Smith-Rowe. And the club is showing that if you work hard, there is a pathway into the first team. So that's encouraging.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. Just quickly before you go, because I know you've got to go. I mean, obviously, we got Guendouzi's gone out on loan again, so he's definitely off of our books. He's going to be off. I don't know why we haven't. I think there's an option for.
I think it's an obligation to buy, right? 10 million.
I think it's an obligation. That's what I'm saying. 10 million at the end of the season. What's your thoughts on that and Guendouzi?
I always thought, for me, that I tell you what, I think Guendouzi, how he's going to end up in his career. He's going to end up like Mario Balotelli. He's going to be one of these players that there's going to be a lot of talent, and he's going to end up a journeyman footballer, moving around from club to club, burning his bridges down, and then there'll be another manager that will see him and go, oh, I'll be the one that will be able to calm those flames and get the best out of him. And it'll all go pear-shaped. A bit like Mario Balotelli. You can see that the talent is there, but there's a problem with the temperament. And where is Mario Balotelli playing now? He plays in the second tier of the Italian leagues. Yeah. You know, someone of his age, he should still be in and around the Italian squad, right? In the Euros, right? He's not an old man, but he's playing in the second leagues because he's fucking, you know, he's burnt goods. He's baggage, right? And I think that everywhere that Guendouzi has gone, everywhere, he's caused a problem. And I look at it this way, right? If he's going off to Marseille, don't tell me. Listen, if he's got anything about him, he should be lying awake at night, not able to sleep, crying himself, sobbing away at night, regretting the big opportunity that he had at a team like Arsenal, the stature of Arsenal, the reputation of Arsenal, and that he's totally fucked it up now, and he's had to go all the way back home to France, right, which some people call the Farmers League. I don't call it that, but some call it that. And he's gone all the way back home with his tail between his legs. And I just think that the problem with him is is there nobody in his family unit or close circle that can put an arm around him and stop him from self-destructing? Because opportunities like playing for a club like Arsenal don't come along too often. And he got a lot of game time. I always thought it was a little bit overrated, a bit of a headless chicken. But if he had kept his head down and applied himself, he'd still be at Arsenal. Don't tell me that him going to Marseille is a fucking... he can think to himself honestly and look inward and say, this is the better move.
I totally agree with you, Stan. 100%, I totally agree with you. Listen, what I will say is when he did come to us, he looked again a great prospect, young player, young French player that looked like if he got his head down, like you're saying, exactly what you're saying, got his head down, he would be a great player. But unfortunately, he's not. He's not a great player. He's very, very slow, Stan. He's very, very slow. He's very, very weak. He can't header the ball. And just because, this is what I don't understand with Arsenal fans that think that, you know, apparently he was a £45 million under Emery and now he's only a £10 million under Arteta. Just because he done a couple of fist pumps to the crowd and done a couple of runs and got us up on the pitch. You know what I mean? He's this golden boy. I don't fucking understand it.
He was valued at 40 million, right? Back then, when if people were saying he was valued at 40 million and people had come in and bid for him, those people that said he was 40 million would have said, we don't want to sell him. We don't want to sell him. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it was worth 40 million then because you still wanted to play him. It's what he's worth now that is a problem. Now that you want him off your books. Now that you want rid of him. And he is a problem. The biggest fucking game of our season, right? The Europas and that. He was showing pictures of his holiday and that. And he was trying to be, that was childish. He was trying to have a little dig. He was trying to have a little pop. That just shows you, again, signs of his immaturity. If you didn't want to wish the lads well, the team that's paying his wages, then say nothing.
Exactly.
Just say nothing, right? Just say nothing. Don't try and fucking be a big shot as some little kid. It's petulance. And,
Christopher Wood. The
fact that he's gone back to France, to Marseille, he's got what he deserved. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to get an opportunity to play at a club at Arsenal for some time now. And he was in there as a youngster. He could have applied himself and got something out of it, but he's ruined it.
Christopher Wood has put it here. Look, he was valued at 40 million until our full manager come in. Well, let me just come back at a couple of things on that, Stan. Let me ask you one quick question there. If Arsenal didn't buy him, would any of us know who he was?
No.
Right? No, exactly.
No.
You know the reason why that is? Is because exactly my second point is if he was that fucking fantastic, right? If he was worth 45 million or 40 million, like everyone keeps saying, under the fantastic manager that people keep going on about, Emery, why didn't that manager come back and get him for 10 million? Surely that's a steal for him. If he's that fantastic, Stan, and he's brilliant, and he just needs to be taken under a wing of a manager that will, calm him down and sit him down and do that, why didn't the Messiah come in for him?
Where were the Juventuses? Where were the Barcelonas, the Real Madrids, the Inter? Were they these clubs circling around, having a bidding war to get this guy Guendouzi? He's gone back to France for 10 million. That's not a freak of nature. That's because that's what he's fucking worth.
Exactly,
and that's the league, and that's the league that he should be fucking playing in. It's as simple as that. Very terribly positionally aware. You can run around ragged like a chicken, and when the rest of the team is playing shit and playing shit football, that looks good. You're like, why ain't everybody else trying? When you've got players that have given up for the manager and they've put their tools down and they're strolling around, and you've got this young kid who's running around everywhere, do you know what I mean? Like a fucking rabbit in headlights. That stands out. But in the actual scheme of things, he wasn't really doing that much, to be honest with you. Just go back. All you got to do is go onto Google and look at his record till day. Look at goals and assists.
Yep. Well, we only had a 30% win rate with him in the team. We had a 30% win rate with him when he was in our team, Stan.
Yeah.
What's so great about that? I don't understand. And Christopher Wood saying, but it was true that he was 40 million. Well, let me come back at you again, Christopher. Thank you for interacting with us. Really appreciate it, mate. Nothing against you. It's just obviously we're having a discussion. But how much was Saka and Smith Rowe under Emery? And how much are they worth now under Arteta, Stan?
That's a good point, actually. It's all about form, isn't it? While you're in form or out of form. But I never really thought that Guendouzi was in form. I don't think he was worth 40 million at all. I really don't. I really don't. Do you know what I mean? I actually think maybe at his peak, in his Arsenal colours, he may have been worth around about 15. But what do I know? I don't value footballers. It's just my opinion and what I saw. But I would never have said that we could have got 40 million for him. That's the Iwobi money. We got 40 million for Iwobi, which was a fucking good deal, by the way. There's no way that he was worth the 40 million. But you know, you make a comparison there. You know. So
another one, just quickly before you go, Stan. Sorry, mate. David Dandas is saying Emil left the big club and went to Villa, a much smaller club, and look at him now. This is beginning to sort of grate me a little bit. You know what I mean? Martinez was a fantastic keeper, right? He done really well at Arsenal. I don't understand why fans don't understand the situation. Before people go too much into it, understand the situation beforehand, right? What it is he was at our club for 10 years. 10 years he was at Arsenal for, right? He got a great 6 months under Arteta and he done fantastically well, right? And the difference is for me is that if he was that great and he wanted to play for a big club and he had Arsenal in his heart, like everyone kept saying, right? Why didn't he want to fight for his place? This is what we want in it, Stan. We want players that want to fight for their place in this team. So this is what my point is and why the fans keep going on about this Tavares. You know, we're getting a player here who's under 20, right, who's got Tierney in front of him at the moment, who Arsenal all see as our future captain, right? He will have chances in this Arsenal team next season because we all know at the moment that Tierney is not, you know, going to play a whole season with his injuries at the moment. We know that for a fact, right? So he's going to come in now as a 20-year-old knowing that this left back that's in front of him, we all want as our captain. And he wants to prove a point now, right? He needs to prove a point. So that is what we want. If Martinez would have stayed, right?
Yeah.
I would have said by now, he probably could have cemented that first team place.
So the guy in the chat box, he put up, Emil left a big club and went to Villa, a much smaller club, and look at him now. Well, what is it that I'm supposed to be looking at? Arsenal finished 8th in the Premier League. Aston Villa finished 11th. So, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, did they win the Champions League while I was asleep? Did they win something? I don't think. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that finish in 8 is an achievement for Arsenal. But I'm just answering the question. It said, and look at him now. And I don't understand what it is that I'm looking at. They finished below us.
I totally agree with what you said there, Stan. And I've made that point and all. But I seem to get a load of, you know what I mean? I'm talking out of my arse sort of thing. Even Alan says here, Terry, we sold fucking Martinez to get the money for Partey. Don't give me that nonsense. Why did we didn't have to do that. We had the money. Partey was already signed. I don't understand why people don't realise this. Partey was already signed. Even though he went to the last day of the season, the last day of the transfer window, he was already signed. We had the money for him. We didn't need to sell Martinez. Martinez wanted to go because he thought he would be better in his own career. He wanted to be cemented as the number one.
Yeah,
after
and there's nothing wrong in that.
Exactly. I totally agree. After 10 years of being at a club and being told that you're not number one, I understand the reasons why he's gone. And good luck to him. I've got nothing against him.
If he was such a rated keeper, why did Wenger? We had some problems with goalkeepers during Wenger years. Why didn't Wenger just say, you know what, we'll solve this one internally? There's a reason why he kept going out on loan. And don't get me wrong, he did come in when Leno was out and put in a nice patch for us. But and this is just my opinion. I just think that Leno's a better keeper for me. You know, there's a reason why Emi Martinez was at the club for so long and never became the number one. And there's a reason why in a position like that, you would leave and go to a club like Villa that finished in the position that Villa finished in last season. It's natural. It's no different than the Fabianski leaving and going to play for West Ham. Because Fabianski is couldn't get in ahead of the team, ahead of Szczesny. Did you see what I'm saying? So, we got good money for Emi Martinez, and that money was into the transfer kitty. It's just the way that it goes,
We're not always going to win. Do you know what I mean? We're going to obviously lose some good players and get the money for them. It's always going to be the case. Alan's saying,
Villa did the double on us. What, did they get a trophy for that then? They still finished below us in the table. They still finished below us.
I don't understand that comment, to be honest, Alan. You know what I mean? Yes, they've done a double on us. How many times have we done a double over them over the years? Are we going to bring that up then? Or are we just going to go because Martinez is gone there and that's the reason why they won? So if that's the reason why they won because Martinez is at Villa, why didn't they finish above us with Martinez in goal?
I don't know what it is about. Was it? How many games was it that Martinez played in that run? Was it about 10 games? I don't understand what it is that he did in that run that totally wiped out. I mean, it was only a season before that when the argument was the two people of our season. It was like a fucking cigarette paper between aubameyang and the goalkeeper. Yeah. It's very rare that happens, but it shows you how bad the team is, right? When the goalkeeper's up there, but all of a sudden, you know, a new guy comes in and puts a run together, and you just forget. You know, you're dazzled by the new shiny thing. Oh, new shiny thing. I want a new shiny thing. Do you know what I mean? I just think that Leno, for me, is a much more competent keeper than Martinez. But as I say, you know, as London Lone Star says, you two guys love mediocrity. It's just my opinion. It's just my preference. Do you know what I mean? I just think that Leno's a better keeper.
Listen, I like them both. You know what I mean? If he was still here, Martinez, I'd love him still to be here.
I'd love him to have stayed. You know, if he's as good as that and have two keepers fighting for their place. But we're not in a club position to have that going on. You know, to have two keepers of a similar standard like that. If that's what people are saying, then that's the team that's in the Champions League, right? Has that sort of thing going on.
But he's right here. What you're saying, Lone Star, you're right. In 11 months, Emil Martinez has won the FA Cup, Community Shield, and the Copa America, and voted for the season. But them two cups that he won was at Arsenal. One of them ain't a cup, remember, because I get told that the Community Shield ain't a cup. But two of them cups were at Arsenal. They weren't at Villa. But the team that he went to that are apparently better than Arsenal, and he's better in his career. Yeah. So all he's done as a Villa man has got the player of the season. A goalkeeper's got player of the season, which is mad when you can think that Grealish is there and all these other players. I know there've been injuries or whatever, and he's won a cup with Argentina, his country.
Why would you buy a player, right, for 25 odd million, whether it's pounds or euros, and maybe sell him for like 30-ish, when you've got a player that's cost you nothing? He's come through your ranks. He's been your backup keeper for over 10 years. He's gone out on loan. And then because he had a purple patch, people want to come in and pay 20, 25 million for him. What would you do? Do you keep him and get just 25 or whatever it is back for Leno? Or do you make your money on the guy that's cost you nothing? It's just business. You know, if you look at it for what you've got for your investment and the return on your investment, where we are, we had to sell one of those keepers. We're not in a position to keep both of them. We had to get that 25 million so that we could spread it around elsewhere in our squad. It's just where we were at that time.
But what makes me laugh and all, Stan, is that obviously Emil said he was going to a club that's going places, basically, like Arsenal wasn't going places and things like that. Now, when Fabregas done that or Van Persie done that, he got shitted on, got absolutely shitted on, and we ate. You know, most fans hated them when they done that. But now this guy goes to Villa. And now because Villa, you know what I mean, are doing a couple of little things, you know what I mean, good luck to them.
Yeah, it's ironic because they were actually going to clubs that could maybe go and achieve things, whereas Martinez has basically gone to the fucking little engine that could. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. Stan, look, we've been going for 2.5 hours now, mate, and I've kept you a lot longer than what I'm supposed to. Sorry about that, mate.
Right,
but glad to have you back on, mate. Looking forward to a load more, especially UFC and boxing ones when they come up. We'll be doing them. We love doing them with you guys. Everyone in the chat, thank you very much for coming and watching us at such different hours in the morning, at night time. God knows what. Really appreciate it. Unfortunately, McGregor lost the match by breaking his leg and probably double fracturing it or dislocating it by the way he's done it in the first round. If you ain't seen it, it's very, very brutal, the break. But Poirier's got the win, so he's 2-1 up. There definitely will be another match in this one, I think, which we'll be covering. And look, we'll be covering it. So thank you very much. Like I said, later on today, there will probably be another transfer show, hopefully with me and Diesel. And then the big man himself will be back tonight to do the live watch-along of the final, the Euros 2021, Italy versus England. I'll be down the pub, hopefully be able to get a signal and be able to get on for a little bit. And but Diesel will be taking you through. And one thing left to say, Stan, it's coming home, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, mate. It's the big one. Thanks for having me on, Tel. Good to have a chat with you again. And thanks to everybody in the Banksters chat box as well for having me on.
No problem. Thank you very much, Alan. Even though we agree to disagree, mate. Like I said, I love the banter. You know what I mean? I love having a debate. And like Glenn said earlier on, actually, Stan, just before we go, it's good to have people with all different opinions and all different backgrounds and things like that. So otherwise it gets too boring, if you know what I mean. Just having the same, like 3 people on, same view, same opinions. I mean, you know what I mean? It's you know, that's not me, mate.
We actually agreed about quite a lot tonight, if I remember rightly.
We have for a change. Yeah, that was. I mean, lately we've been going opposite ways, but
we're on the same page, mate, for most of it.
Yeah, exactly. And Lone Star, you're right. We apologise to absolutely nobody. It's coming home. Thanks, everyone. Speak to you all soon. Stay safe. Don't forget to tune in later on. Put your notifications on. Peace out. Love to you all. Arteta in.